Oh, good.
Thank God
our
everybody
cameras were
missed
up.
that. Yeah, cameras
I hope
were
our
up.
cameras are up.
Oh,
Just go.
Yep.
man.
Yeah.
We started the stream, and so the ad started, and it scared the crap out of me for a second.
All right.
Welcome, everyone.
I need to burn up things. Hello, everyone.
Let's see here.
I suppose I should move this image of Pubert down to the thanks for being in the party.
Oh, come on.
Man, that hits me right in the feels already. Thanks.
That's...
Oh,
Aw.
go cry. I'm gonna go cry.
He didn't
We'll
respond
move
to
yeah.
my. He
We'll
didn't
move him
respond
back
to
if
my tag.
I'm gonna miss that guy. He,
He's
I really
playing
hope-
Animal Crossing right now. We
I
should
really
just yell
hope he
at him
comes
to be
back
wrong.
because that barrel thing's
Yeah.
a really dumb way to die.
Go yell at him. Go yell at him right now.
I tried to, and he never responded. Last week, I said,
Man.
"You're in my loot, you jerk."
Yeah.
He was running around my
Not wrong.
island last night.
Yeah, he was hitting my rocks last
Priorities. Priorities.
You gotta hit them rocks and get them nuggies.
Ridiculous. All right. Well, welcome and happy Monday. Oh wait, no, my internet totally freeze.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, no, just CJ's camera froze. And Chris? Nope, he's moving.
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Oh,
just
so it's just CJ.
I'm here.
we lost CJ. Looks like.
That's a very interesting pose.
Yeah.
She looks very happy.
Stop hitting yourself.
Stop hitting yourself. All right.
All right then.
So recap: we killed the giants. I looted one of them. There was a bottle. Pubert opened it, and he's stuck inside.
Brother.
We helped the
Brother
town
no.
put out the fires. We went to the funeral. Well, there was a funeral procession around town for the one person who died.
It's a couple townspeople, but
Now,
no one that you
one of them
met or
died in
knew.
combat. And then we went to bed. I think other members of the party did other stuff, but I don't remember what that was.
Yeah, so yesterday in the life of Sparkle Motion would have been waking up and determining what you were going to do with the rest of your day, which was immediately interrupted by the by a rock-based attack in the town. A few giant boulders came flying in, and giants and their minions started moving through. In a very short period of time, they attempted to try to dig an object out from the earth underneath the North Caravan campground. And in a very, very brief but bloody battle, the party annihilated these giants and their minions. I don't think any of them even really got to retreat with the giants. So they later, as everyone was cleaning up all of the from the chaos and helping out the injured and doing what they could do for people, Novak spent some time investigating the object that they dug up, and the piece that they had brought with them to find it, and determined that this rod was acting like a oh man, I want to say tuning fork, but that's the wrong word.
A dowsing rod?
Dowsing rod, thank you. Acting like a dowsing rod to of sorts, to find the pieces of a construct. And so you realize that this was a giant construct's collarbone. They kind of, you guys put that together, and yep, like Jerk was saying, went through some of the giant's belongings. The one giant did have a satchel that had a very large, a large jeweled pendant, a jar, and some other pieces. The jeweled pendant was worth about 750 gold based on your estimates. And yeah, then after the chaos ensued and the fires were put out, the talking troll was lost and part of its cellar, unfortunately, as one of the walls had collapsed down in, the building having already suffered from fire damage in the past, as it was susceptible to this. The other shops, Rancer's Open Road, lost a lot of the horses that were in its stables and some damage to the building. And Orthiver's harness shop had some damage to the building, but his shop is otherwise was otherwise intact. And that was pretty much what the rest of the morning and the afternoon held. And then in the evening, the town held a kind of memorial procession for the fallen victims of the attack on and through the evening. Late at night, when you guys went back to the North Shield house to take some rest, Urgula told you about some information that she had shared about a former adventuring companion and a giant slaying greatsword that this person had carried, and thought it might be of some use to you, and that this person, Harthos, might be willing to part with it. You guys also, let's see, I don't think you had talked to Garland Fohammer that evening, and he had seen Azita striking and seemingly taking down the giant, and wanted to offer her the only reward that he really felt he could provide, which was a letter to the King and Queen in the Citadel Felbar, King Morin and Queen Tithmel, giving you a letter of recommendation to them, seeing if they might be able to give you some assistance as well. And then otherwise, when you guys woke up in the morning, you found yourselves, Urgula had a note from Darathra saying that she'd like to see you and that she had a special message for Taliesin. And yeah, otherwise, I think that's it. You're waking up in the North Shield house.
And there's a barrel.
Yes, and there is a barrel that contains Pubert.
Yeah.
With us.
Yes.
Oh, right. You asked Othiver to make a harness, and for
It's
the
like a backpack.
help keeping his shop up, he gladly volunteered to create such a thing. So just give him a few days.
Yes, I would like to say to everyone, well, the giants are becoming a problem pretty quickly, so we might want to check out this friend of Urgula's, but I'm gonna head to the tower, and I think we should all head there and see what Darathra has to say. You're muted, CJ.
I mean, I feel like Jerk is Azita definitely wants to at least go find out what's going on with the Bureau, because the day he left town, suddenly giants attack, and then we haven't seen him come back to town.
Yeah, I am curious about that too. I'd like to go to the
Zentrium, and figure out this
Tribor
whole...
Travelers and see if they've heard any updates about his location, because he was supposed to be back.
Oh, can we hit long rest on our character sheets?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you guys slept last night. Got full
Okay.
uninterrupted rest. I did add. I totaled up all that XP to you guys' sheets. If you notice, you are
Ooh, almost
getting-
level 6.
getting pretty close.
But yeah, so Azita wants to go check out what's going on with the Bureau and see if that offer for the giant metal thing is still available. Because I don't want to have to carry that, and I want my money.
You're gonna sell part of this construct?
To the Zentrium? Hell yes.
I mean, yeah, I'm fine with then. They offered.
Yeah, they
We can't
offered to
take
buy
it
it
with
off of us last night. So, like, after spending a day relaxing, recovering, tending to our wounds is a better time to talk business than when I have giant open wounds bleeding, gouging.
Sure. I personally, it sounds like a good way to get the Zentrium attacked by giants if they're looking for
Okay.
these things.
I mean,
But
yes,
I mean,
but
you
what
guys,
better
it's your agency.
agency?
Yeah, the Zentrum
say-
they're mercenaries, so they can handle
Yeah,
it.
what better agency to
Oh, okay.
protect something from evil than a bunch of mercenaries who are cutthroat to begin with?
But I mean, I don't know your guys's the people you are in league with. So if you trust them, then go ahead. I don't know what this thing is or what it does. So yeah, do what you want.
Before we split up, can I inform the rest of the group about what I found out about the construct?
What did you find out about the construct? Like, you can even talk about that while we're on our way to.
Barrel or heirloom?
Yeah.
I mean, when we're at breakfast, I could let everybody in the group know, like, hey, so you know, I found out.
Found out what?
That this construct's basically a honing device and stuff like that.
Well, I think
You're talking about
the
the
rod that he
leads-
had.
Yeah.
This construct, from what I remember, is part. The thing that we found
Is one piece.
is one piece of a giant construct that they're trying to probably find and build.
For some reason.
Which is why I'm thinking, you give it to the Zentrum, the giants are probably going to come for them. I don't know, though. I mean, I just know that giants want this thing.
Well, right, but if there's as many pieces to it as, claimed, they'll know where that one piece is, sure, but why not collect all the other pieces before going and having to deal with a bunch of tiny humans chopping the shit out of your ankles?
Man, I don't know what giants' logic is. They might not give a fuck and just come in with like 5 and stomp on people.
You're not wrong there.
I think we were super lucky it was only 2.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly.
I gotta find more potions of enlargement.
That was pretty useful, honestly.
Yeah, can I just stay this? Like, I love becoming King Koopa. That's why I just imagine.
I think it was 1 hour.
Yeah, it was 1 hour of King Koopa mode. Like, rah!
It was an effective time to do the thing, though. Definitely helped. All right, so I'm hearing that some of you want to go to the market in the tower to see Doratha, and some of you want to travel to Tribor Travelers, just a little bit farther west from where you are.
Do we wanna-
sound,
Yep. That sounds good.
sound about right?
Yeah. Do we want to stick together and go like one at a time, or are you going to split the party and make Jared do that again?
I'm going with Taliesin because it sounds like a good thing to do after a big fight. Talk to them ahead person.
I mean,
where's Zentrum going to talk
okay,
and get
yeah,
his
let me
entry out?
look at the map real quick, because you guys are heading where? Here.
We're going to the tower.
Which
And
is
then
on
we
the
wanna
way.
go right there. So yeah, we might as well just tag along with them to the tower and then all go to Tribor.
Okay.
That just seems what's logical in my opinion.
I think that was everybody. So
Yep.
after you guys have a breakfast on Urgla, she says on the house is one of the many ways that she's, or one of the ways that she'd like to thank you for helping, protect and save people of the town, all the putting your lives on the line. She does offer that if you're ever in ever in, if whenever you leave Tribor, if you ever come back to town, you have a place to stay in the North Shield house. And she'll always make sure that there's a room for you.
I'm really big. Can't she always guarantee the honeymoon suite's free?
I mean, she's gonna make sure there's a room for you. There's always a place for you to stay in the North Shield house.
Awesome.
The dogs come up and sniff and bark and play around Jerk, having been around when the fighting and some of the protecting marks. They recognize him.
I'm going to play with them back and pet them.
Oh, and I believe, didn't a couple of you come in and pet him too? Everybody who was all about the puppies when they came in, these big mastiffs are acting like little baby puppy dogs to you guys now, as they might have seemed like intimidated before.
Yes, puppies.
The sign that Urgla approves of you gives them, a comfort level with you too. So, after a hearty meal, you're able to then head over to the tower, which has survived the encounter relatively unscathed. It does, as you come up to the entrance door, the guards now have recognized you not only from like word of things that have come around town, but you talking with Drothra multiple times, and they gesture and usher you in without a word of what's your business. You do notice that the market outside the tower is kind of desolate, and things haven't really picked up necessarily. Certainly not as busy as they were the previous mornings you've been in Tribor. But once you get inside the tower,
Oh, can we see if T-Dude is okay before going into the tower? Is T-Dude still alive?
T-Guy? Was it
Yeah.
This T-guy.
T-Guy? Yeah, if you go and find him out there, T-Guy is definitely still pedaling. Whereas he's got mouths to feed, so he's he's there working hard. Offers and tries to.
Today he's
Get you-
offering jasmine oolong if anybody wants a sample.
Jasmine Oolong, if anyone wants a sample.
Huh.
It's got little tins with the dried leaves inside.
I just wanted to make sure he was alive and okay.
I don't think we
He's-
can
he's
brew
there.
that precisely enough to make it good.
But he's there. He's got a whole kit of like, here, put these sticks in, burn them for this long. It's the very specific process to make a very fine cup of tea at a very specific temperature, burning a certain amount of wood over a certain little thing. So if you'd wanted a tea kit, he's the guy to get it from. But yeah, he's okay.
You guys are making me make notes on what type of tea you have.
And I'm sure if you wanted to purchase anything from him, he's there. Like I said, most of the market though is there's not a lot of people going about and doing as much business as there had been. And there's still the shop. People put their booths up and things, but the mood is quite sombered in the town after the attack yesterday. Things are a little kind of a nervous tension in the air. But as you enter the tower, upon being ushered in, you see that there's actually a bit more hustle and bustle inside. The 12 who are the kind of police force in the town have returned and are now working with a few people and some of the like farmers in the town to teach them some of the more like basics of combat and to try and like ready them for when things might happen again in the future. I can tell that things are very high alert inside the tower. As you would approach into her office on the second floor, you see that Dars and Othiver are in the office with her. And as you approach, kind of the guard at her door announces you, and you come in. She's It's a smile on her face to see you again, and says and tells you, it's just, I realize that you're not soldiers of the town, but that you came out and you put your lives on the line for us. So I'd like to offer you a bit of a reward for the two dead giants. She said we've managed to take the object that they dug up, and we were able to sell it to the Zentrum agents. They paid the town 8,000 gold for it, and outside of what we're going to use to try and rebuild and put back into the buildings, we wanted to offer you the remaining 3,000 gold for your adventuring party. And she basically has a couple satchels that are filled with various gemstones, and she's like, "This is from Tribor to you." She's like, "We appreciate your efforts, and we're happy. You know, we're very glad, very happy that you are here."
Well, thanks.
I tell her, glad to be of service. Can you please just
There.
make sure that the talking troll gets rebuilt? I love that place.
She's like, you know, the town does too. It's where a lot of people work hard here, and that's where a lot of the folks go to relax. Definitely part of the money is going to be put back there to repair his building, to repair the the Rancer's Open Road and Orthver's Harness Shop, and the damages that were done to those buildings. Some of the carts and horses that were lost, and the damage done from the stones that they were throwing. Just money's generally going to be going around to the repairs for the town.
It's understandable. I honestly feel kind of bad taking any of it, seeing how much you guys will need to rebuild, but I should stop talking before my compatriots kick my ass.
I would say Azita's nostrils are just like flared out, and you could tell by her body language she's pissed right now.
Why are you mad?
Because all 8 grand was offered to me last night, and I tended to my wounds rather than claiming all 8 grand right away.
They
So she has a
sold
bone
a
to pick
different
with-
thing.
No, it was the same thing.
No, it was the
Yeah.
same thing.
They claimed it,
It was
instead of
by-
us dragging it away or laying claim
And-
to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see what
It
you're
was
saying.
to the
Yeah.
same
and it was
people.
by Giant Metal, and he offered me the money and then went behind my back and got it from the town. So when I
For
go
a
over-
grand cheaper, I might add.
yeah, for a grand cheaper. So
No, you guys are real off on your numbers. I know you're like getting really mad about it, but he offered you 5,000 for
Oh,
it.
did he? Okay.
Yes.
She
Either
said
way.
8
So-
a minute ago.
So the town got more for it, and you guys basically, there are 3 satchels of gemstones sitting on Dorothra's desk. Each contained roughly 1,000 gold worth in gemstones. And she's straight up just offering them to you, just gesturing there. They're sitting on her
Azita
desk
will
for you.
take
for you
all
to
Jerk's
of
go
them.
and pick
grabbing
them up.
one. Jerk
I would say
reaches for
Azita will
one.
grab all 3 of them.
You guys are mad, and Talison's just like,
I'm not mad at all.
Azita's the
Somebody
only one
was.
that's angry about this.
And was really bad at math, but I guess that fits the character.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, that fits the character.
So you know, she offers you this reward. She's like, you know, she greatly appreciates it. Tribor appreciates it, and they're never going to forget Sparkle Motion coming through here. Dorothra does mention that she wanted to speak with you, Taliesin, and kind of not necessarily stops addressing you, but just kind of gestures over to you, and then speaks just a little, just directing you, but still talking with the other people in the room.
okay.
And she says, you know, I don't have a ton of contact with other Harpers. We're usually, you know, individuals working across the countryside. But it does strike me as odd that fire giants could make it this far into the Destern Valley without us receiving a kind of warning um, outside of what was taken in the other town. And
Right.
you
How
know,
would they?
talking.
How would no one have seen them coming?
Yeah. So I really want to make sure that the organization is just aware of the gravity of the situation. So I want to give you this. And so she gives you a platinum badge. Uh, it is probably worth like 50 gold, but it bears the Tribor insignia, which is 3 boars charging forward.
You got the first gym badge.
she
Oh yeah.
she she urges you. She's like, I think if you travel east along the Evermore Way, and I want you to meet a man and talk to him. He is another Harper agent. His name is Dral Thelev, and I'll put it in there. Do. Copy, paste. Nope, not that one. Not that one. That one. Paste. If you travel east and you give this badge to Dral Thelev, tell him that I sent you. You want to visit the Danivar's house in Everland. Doot.
I miss Fandolin.
And you'll meet.
We gotta go back. I gotta get my staff.
My
Oh, how am I going to
staff.
explain this to my mother?
You
And
gotta
you'll
get
meet a-
Sparkle Gem staff.
And you'll meet a half-orc proprietor. And the man's name's Dral Thelev.
The Drawl is the half orc.
Dral Thelev. He's the half-orc. He's a proprietor of Danivar's house in Everland. And she's suggesting that you go and talk to him there. He is another Harper agent of the Harpers. And she, you know, he's not only to send him this information and get it in the network to the pieces that you've discussed with her about your experience with the giant in the cloud tower and the giants here, and making sure that this information is in the hands of the Harpers. She would do it herself, but she needs to stay here, and she's going to, you know, continue protecting the town. But she asks that if you could go there, that he might be able to help you, not only for you to help me get this information out there, but also he can probably help you in some way on the adventure, and he may have means for you to travel to other places that you might need to go. So,
Like, give us directions on where to go, or like some means of fast travel, or just
yeah,
like-
means of traveling throughout town. You get from her when she says that she's, you know, she might be talking about like mounts or something. But if you ask like, oh, what is it? She's like, you know, so he might be able to provide you with special mounts that would allow you to travel faster across the land.
I appreciate this information. I agree that we need to give this. We need this information and we need it to travel fast. We need a lot of people to know. I don't know how these fire giants would have gotten here with no one noticing. It's pretty crazy that they traveled this far. So we need. They're obviously looking for something, and who knows how many other towns have one of these things buried in the center of them. We should probably warn people, and I will do my best to do so.
She lets you know that she's already sent word last night via Crow to the Lord's Alliance. She's the representative of Lord's Alliance here, being Lord Protector of Tribor. So they're they have the knowledge of the attack, but if there are any the network of Harpers may have more information, and someone may have been able to get here. Also, to just tell them what you know is probably all going to be very important in trying to solve what's going on with them and how to stop this rampage. She talks a bit about how giants normally never come this far south, and so as part of what's so surprising is they usually spend most of their time farther up in the north. If you were to look at one of the maps that she has out here, they spend most of their time in the spine of the world, which is this area up here, and they come significantly south to Tribor and the other town here to get these pieces. She's also sent word to Yartar to let them know that Tribor attacked, and the other local towns, so Longsaddle, Westbridge, Redlark, anywhere else in the area. And a bit over to Neverwinter. So the large cities, she's sent word out to all of them. But yeah, so
I would the only other thing I would ask is a friend of mine, also a Harper, the one who taught me of your order, lives back in Phandalin. Can you send word to him just so that they have some means of being prepared if anything were to come their way?
Certainly. Yeah, we can definitely send a message to Phandalin. In whose care should I send it to?
Darren
Edermath?
Yes.
Sorry, yeah. I'll make sure to send word to the mayor of the town there. I don't think they have a Lord Protector. Small town like that, but
they don't, but everyone knows Darren.
I thought Sildar became Lord Protector.
Officially?
They have.
He's acting like
Sildar. Yeah.
But if you mentioned that there are agents of the Lord's Alliance there, then she can send it to them as well.
Actually, yes. If you could send it to Sildar at the Lord's Alliance, he will, and if he knows it's from us, he will make sure that it gets to Darren.
Okay, yeah, definitely. She's like, it's not a problem. You see, she kind of gestures towards one of the scribes, and they're sitting in the room with her. There's a few other guards and people in her office as well, and he's taking the notes. And she's like, it'll be done shortly.
I appreciate that. That's all I would ask of you. I thank you for your generosity in paying us for the help that we provided. Honestly, I probably would have done. I can't say the same for the other people, but we came together in your time of need, and I was happy to be there for it.
Well, she thanks you for standing up for protecting all the kinds of people that may not have been able to protect themselves, and gives you a really firm handshake, kind of clasps across the wrists, grabs you and holds it there, gives you a good stern look in the eye, and just like I feel strongly that you're going to continue protecting the land, and I'm glad to know that you're a member of the order, and Darren did a good thing finding someone like you that could be here with us.
I thank you, and I will take your message and spread it far and wide as much as I can.
Is there anything that Tribor can do for you all while you're here? I heard tale of how you arrived. By chance, would you need some transportation to get you onto your next location.
Couldn't hurt. Oh, and if you do give us transportation, one of our members got stuck in a giant bottle, so we're gonna need to take him with us too.
Oh yeah.
I'd heard a bit about that from Arthur here,
Oh, it was something.
and
He's spaghettified.
He's spaghettified. I'm sorry.
Arthur is the harness maker, but he's also the mage who helped you identify a bit about and he kind of steps over. He goes, I think it was more unfortunate than anything else that the giant happened to be carrying this. I don't know if they used it. Some giants play cruel tricks on people, and it's very possible that there are many souls trapped in there, along with, and he looks at Godwald, along with your brother. I think finding a way to break the spell on the magic may help whomever is in there, but it might also be worth finding out why it was created and who else might be in there, because if it's such a powerful sealing magic, it may have been created to keep something else at bay. So
Out
before
of
you break it,
character,
you might be finding out more information about it.
we haven't talked about what we're gonna do with Pubert in the jar. Should we send him back to his mom? To Phandalin? What should we do with this thing? Because I don't want to travel with it. We tend to lose things we travel with.
Yeah, I was gonna say, out of character, I feel like we should spend this 3,000 gem sacks or gemstone sacks and buy a house in Phandalin, just to act as a storage unit for everything.
I have a house.
Who picked up the third one? I heard
I have one.
Azita picked up one. I heard Jerk picked up one. Who picked up the third one?
Taliesin went first.
I was saying,
Taliesin? All right, so you guys, I just want the three of you to mark that you've got
Oh, okay.
in your inventory
Bag
sack
of gems.
Bag of gems worth 1,000 gold.
Oh. Okay.
And then we get robbed.
Right. Gotta remember you have it.
I hate when this happens.
I would love to see them try to rob us. No,
Right?
I didn't say
I
that.
mean,
I
you'd
didn't
love
say
to-
that.
You'd love to. I'd love to see them in the process before they finish.
Yes.
Right. But Arthur continues to tell you, he goes, like in Silvery Moon, the elves that live there have incredible magics and vast libraries. You may be able to find out more about the jar from them and their elven wizards. It's like the other place where I know some very advanced and high level mages reside is in Waterdeep. It's the largest city on the Sword Coast, and there are it's a place where magic is fairly common, with a large mix of people, and also libraries and more information there. So those are two locations where you may be able to research more about the object. And on that note,
I'm getting an
Uh-oh.
emergency alert on my phone right this second.
okay, so
Michigan is now at a executive not allowed to leave your house order other than for essentials.
I can't wait to go grocery shopping and just encounter nonsense.
Our grocery store is doing.
All right, Fantasyland.
Yeah,
We're in fantasy
sorry.
world now. Fuck the COVID virus. There's no virus in this town. Tribors,
Yes.
everyone's super fucking healthy. Free travel. You get to go wherever you want, do whatever you want here.
Cool.
All right.
Slice that life out. It's over there.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
if we're done here, I want to start. Well, Are we done here?
Yeah, I think we're done here. We're going towards like dealing with Dickwad who screwed me out of money.
Okay.
So
Well, let's head over there then.
if you guys are done, she, Drothra lets you know. She's like, all right. She's like, if we can help you, obtain horses or a cart or anything, come back, let us know, and we'll be here.
Should we ask them to take Pubert back home, since they're sending a message that way?
You guys can go there. It's only a couple days
Yeah,
away.
Oh,
I
okay.
Right?
feel
Like,
like
it's not. It's a
we
very
as
short travel.
group
Okay.
should head to Fandolin to drop things off by a house for storage.
All right. Well, first
Buy a
let's.
house. I
Like-
like that. I like that.
What,
Buy a
buying a
house.
house of Fandolin as our
Yeah.
storage unit?
All
Let
right.
every-
Well, then let's head over to the Chibor Traveler.
The person in the jar, as well as his brother, have a house there.
Yeah.
Okay, I
They live there.
understand that, but I'm just saying with how much the party sends shit back to that place, we should have another like house as a pure storage unit.
Buy a bigger house for Mama Piterbottom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
sure.
could live it up. We'll live it up with all the money from.
We'll buy the
your
mansion for
adventures.
her and have it paid for to be repaired.
Exactly.
Just so she can house us when we come into town.
That's
Alright,
where all the cops are.
As you guys are exiting, Jerk, roll me a perception check.
$15.
On your way out, you notice that Dars, the guy who runs the two campsites, you'd seen him he was cleaning things up before, and he's also in the office here. You see it like would strike anyone else as just some mud that was on him, but he seems to have somehow gotten some white clay in a handprint on the side of on one of his shirts. And as you're exiting and you notice it, he makes eye contact with you and gives you a slow nod as he kind of brushes it off,
Okay.
kind of like discolors off of him.
I want to pull him aside for just a quick second and kind of whisper to him, and ask him if there's been any word from Sparkle Gem.
He kind of, as you're exiting, and kind of throws an arm over your shoulder, gets in real close to get a little like whisper to you. Is like, I thought maybe you were in the club, and he's like, but we shouldn't talk about these kind of things in a public place like this. It's like, if you can meet me out at the, of course I'm gonna forget the name of it. It's
Mind
the one
ship?
place. It's the one place that's not on your map. If you can meet me over at the 6 Windows later, it's like we don't even necessarily have to wait for tonight.
What was his name again?
Stars.
Dars Helgar.
At what time? 6 o'clock?
And he said if you just meet me there later. He's like, do you guys know if you're leaving right away?
We have a little bit of business to take care of in town, and after that battle, I think one more night would do us good to just rest up before we make the trip back to Fandolin, if that's where
Kind
we're
of
going.
arm around you and whispering real close. He's like, all right. He's like, well, just whenever you're ready, like, come out to the campgrounds, give me some kind of signal. I'll meet you over at the 6 Windows. It's off to the edge of the town, on the. Around here, I'm gonna put it up right from his description. You would understand. It's like towards the edge of town, over where the road to Garwin Slumber goes. Guerin Slumber, and so he indicates this place.
Okay.
The 6 Windows. Here. And that was the first time you see your clan symbol. Been having you do that like for a while while you've been in Tribor. I'm glad it happened. But so he kind of like gives you a shake. And he's like, "Might have a story for you. Maybe we could share an ale over the remains of the talking troll."
Absolutely.
Good
I
on you, lad.
love
And
that
you know,
place.
he claps you on the back and says, kind of gives a friendly gesture off to everyone else. But he made very had that conversation real quick and close with you.
All right.
We moved on. All right. So as you guys exit out of the tower, and you head past the west campgrounds, around over to Tribord Travelers, you find that the Travelers is pretty busy, with one of the other major um, ranches essentially being so affected. Um, Business is a little busier at the Travelers and at the Cart and Coin.
I'm gonna make my way to the office and see if he's there.
So you guys come in and knock on the door. You do see a couple kind of like stable hands just kind of milling about. They're not posted up as guards, but they are definitely just keeping an eye out. But they see you all and kind of uh, acknowledge you, but don't stop you or anything as you up to the door, knock, and you, yes, come in. Yes, come in.
I'll enter.
Step inside, and you find Harlem Sockspool and Nalian. God, I can remember his name. So bad with this.
Viral Razorwind.
No, Varel is the guy you were looking for.
So I'm just gonna very first thing ask him if they've heard word from Varel, and tell him how I think it's a little coincidental that he bolts from town and we get attacked by giants.
Yes, their caravan did not arrive back yesterday, and it's not like any of our people to go missing. We haven't heard a single word from them. I've actually sent a couple of my men on horseback heading towards Yartar to see if they can find them and see what happened to them. The caravan never arrived.
All right. Well, I'd like to keep abreast of this situation. If you get any more information, and if he is a doppelganger, I would love to be part of the interrogation.
Yes, I wonder if he had. I mean, it's possible they got word of the giants' attack and stayed in Yartar. It's like, but I agree, it's very suspicious that he would disappear and get on the wrong caravan, then disappear, then the caravan disappears. It's not add up.
No, I'm hoping for an alternate, you know, situation. I hope we were wrong about the whole thing, but that doesn't seem like it. And then I'll take a step back. That's all I wanted to say is just bring it to his attention that this dude still hasn't come back and see if they had any information about it.
Yes, no, I'm aware, and it's like they went missing. Probably may not have noticed if you hadn't been here to tell us. One man getting on and taking a job in another town, kind of thing happens all the time. But a suspect who could be passing information along inside the Zentrum is a different matter. So
Then I want to.
I have a job that I'd like to offer you, actually. I did send several men on horseback, but for the Black Network, if you can hunt this man down, find him in Yartar, bring me his head, then we'd like to offer you 500 gold.
Well, I'm gonna tell him it's it's on the list. We do have slightly more pressing matters in Fandolin right now. Our compatriot got sealed away in a jar. So we're going to take him back to his house to be watched over.
Kind of see Valken, the male half elf in the corner. His eyes are sealed in a jar. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was he. Let me tell you a story. After we killed the giants, I, of course, as a good mercenary, started pillaging the corpse. And there was a jar there. It caught my big buddy's attention. He opened the jar and then he just turned into strings and went inside.
They kind of look at each other. Valkeen just kind of raises an eyebrow. So that's a terrible thing that happened. Sounds very unfortunate. And Erlem looks at you like, you all get in a lot of trouble, don't you?
Uh, we killed those giants for the town. Come on.
I mean, yes, this is very good. I was very glad for it. Zenter made a pretty penny off of the spoils.
Oh, we still got paid too, by the
Speaking
way.
of, and Azita's going to kind of like just push Jerk off to the side and walk up to him, like, you know, what's his name?
Erlem, something
Yeah,
behind his
she's
desk.
going to like walk up Erlem, just staring down at him, trying to be as big and intimidating as she can. And she's going to cross her arms and be like, I believe you owe me another 2,000 gold pieces. Going behind my back, buying my claim. Well, I attend to my wounds, little man.
I offered you money for the object. You didn't even really have a claim to. You could have taken it, but you didn't.
Oh, we both know that is my claim, and I needed to tend to my wounds.
I believe I made sure that you all got paid. Have you not been to see Darathra?
It's not relevant. You owe me another 2,000 gold pieces.
Well, that's adorable.
Taliesin just lights his pipe, and he's just like he just like steps outside.
I'll follow.
Azita's going to pick him up by his shirt and like staring him down. Because like I said, I've been trying to intimidate him.
You make an attack.
So I got Azita, I have Jerk, Novak in this room.
Yep.
Roll initiative.
Son of a bitch.
I don't trust this guy. He's supposed to be family and he goes behind my back like this? That's not family.
He still made sure we got paid something.
Yeah, not my full amount. I was injured and needed to tend to myself.
What am I rolling again?
Initiative.
Just
11.
make a dex check.
12.
Azita started a fight with some
Big surprise.
With an ally.
with some people.
And 3.
Okay, that's
Hold on. I don't want any part of this.
Then leave the building. Azita's going
You
to
could just
get
stand
her
there and watch
money.
it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a step back. I'm gonna get like against the wall and cross my arms. Just watch.
No, roll initiative. Yeah, all right. You could just tell me you're not doing anything when your turn comes up. All right.
$11.
You rolled a 15, I thought.
No, that was before.
15, 11, and 1.
That was a perception.
Oh,
check.
that was your perception? Okay. Alright. So 17 and 15. All right, so Azita, as you make this gesture to go and grab him
I'm
by the shirt
surprised
to
you
go
haven't
reach
made
up,
me do an intimidation check since I did say bluntly that I was trying to intimidate him before it even escalated to this.
you said you grabbed him and tried
Yeah,
to pick
you
him up by
said
his
you
shirt.
grabbed him. There's no
I said
backtracking
I
from
looked
this.
down at him, trying
You
to
said-
be as big
okay.
as I can, intimidating him.
Hey, listen, it's literally on the internet. We can show you later tomorrow, but you
Okay.
said you grabbed him on, which is why I said you're rolling
I said
initiative, 'cause
before
you
it
started
escalated to
a
this,
fight.
I had tried to do it in a different way.
There was no escalation. He laughed and you picked him up.
You laughed
That's
and you
fine.
went to go to as you go to do it. Nalcine has a Valken Naspir has a 17. Erlem has a 15. It's a 15, and you had a what, Zena?
12, so my turn would go way after both of theirs before I can,
12.
like...
Jerk was 14.
That was 11.
11. And Novak was what?
1.
1.
It
All
ends up
right.
being
Oh, no,
3.
three
I got a
total.
3. I mean,
3 total. All right. All right. So, as you go to make this gesture, your hands up, with a incredible speed. Valkyrie moves almost like right up next to you, both in between you, and goes and slashes at your hands twice. It's his first turn, so he has advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn. So he makes two short sword attacks at your hand specifically.
Oh no, he follows the Assassin's Creed.
hmm So he gets a +6 to that. So that's a 19 to hit, and a +6 to that. It's an 18 to hit. I believe those both do.
Yep.
As with this incredible speed, he does slash both your hands, but not incredibly well. Almost kind of slapping them, and instead of doing like attempts at full damage, oh, and this actually has advantage, so I gotta roll this twice more. See if
So
he
a
crits.
19 hits.
Yeah, to see if he crits, because those are with advantage.
And
Okay.
a 20 hits.
So he does hit. He does. Let's see. A fast. I'll just roll it. Well, I'm not gonna roll it. He does a fast. He does probably about 6 damage to your hands quickly before you get the chance to even lay them on him. And in that moment, as he does that attack, stares at you and says, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." And then it is Erlem's turn. Erlem sitting there, still kind of chuckling and laughing, as his bodyguard has protected him from your initial move. He goes, you see him kind of, he reaches his hand onto something in his desk, and he goes, "I wouldn't do that if I were you either." He holds an action, and then Azita, you can move. No, jerk, if you want to do anything.
I just step up against the wall and I fold my arms and watch what happens.
Okay, Azita. You
I'm
had
just
your
an
hand
intern.
You had your hand slashed right out of the air.
I mean, Azita's just going to look at him and be like, you know, as I said before, family looks out for family. You don't go behind family's back and buy out their claim. You watched me down that giant. We both know if it weren't for me, both of those giants would have wrecked this town.
Yes. But what you don't seem to understand is that the lawful claim to an object underneath the ground in Tribor is that it belongs to Tribor. I tried to make a deal with you for us to lay claim to it in an attempt to get it out from Darathra, and you turned me down. So I made sure that the Zentrum got the object when the
Azita's
city
just
came
going
to
to
clear it
flip
out.
the desk over and storm out of the room.
Okay.
She's just pissed.
Yep. And they just kind of watch you leave. Jerk, you're hanging out in there.
Yep, like, well,
Novak, you're in there too.
this is uncomfortable. I'm just gonna continue
Yes.
standing there.
You have a interesting choice in traveling, compatriots. You maybe need to get their anger in check, yes? It's thing they
No-
could do.
Novak's gonna look over at them, witnessing what they did, and narrow
When
her
she
eyes.
flips the desk, you see that there's a wand in his hand that he had prepared and pulled out and was ready to attack with if he was attacked.
Novak has one hand on her rapier in case she needs to pull it out, but she looks at them with narrowed eyes like, I told you we were going to talk about this later, and you could have had it all. But I'll remember that you decided to deal with Durathra instead.
You all seem to have this very entitled view of your, and I will give you a piece of advice as one Zentr. Sometimes things don't work the way we want them. What we do is we do what we can to make sure that they happen. The object, instead of being in the hands of the Lord's Alliance, is in the hands of the Zentrum, thanks to me. You left it there. You didn't lay claim to it. You didn't stop them from coming to get it. I did what you wouldn't do. So if you could think you could do better, maybe you would have more.
I'm so glad Azita's out of the room right now because she would have backhanded the shit out of him for that comment.
You would have been in initiative order. You used yours to turn a table over.
Novak will give him a cool look and just walk out of the room. Or a calm look, sorry.
I just walk out to. I'll turn and wave. Sorry, and then leave.
As you guys are,
And they let you leave.
Left
When
of
you guys
walk
come
with
out-
with your heads down.
I'll just take a puff of my pipe and be like, so what did he say?
I just kind of
Azita's
giggle.
just going, yeah, Azita's going to shoot you a desk glare and just storm off.
So,
Hmm.
jerk.
Sounds
She's
like it
gonna
didn't
go
go
find
well.
She's going to go find her owlbear stuffy and forget all about any of this.
So, jerk, did they let you in the sorority?
I have no idea what just happened in there, man.
But did they accept you in as a member of their vague yet
family
menacing
feud.
agency?
I don't know. I don't think so. Not yet. I don't have a tattoo yet, so definitely not.
Right.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Maybe next time.
If you say so.
I mean, would you want to be part of a family that feuds like that?
I already
I,
am. You're part of the party. You're already here.
I choose not to answer this question.
It's an interesting set of circumstances, but okay.
The nature is my family.
So
Can I join?
I guess.
Yes. We have drugs.
Yeah.
What
I'm
does everybody else have planned for the day?
I need to find my friend.
Okay. I'm just gonna
In
hang
case he-
out with whoever's doing whatever until night, and then I'm gonna go to the campground, do the signal, and meet with Dars. That's my plan for the day.
Okay. Well, so it sounds like we wanted to go back to Fandolin to
Mhm.
take the pubes jar back.
Stop calling
So,
it
so is that if that's the plan, then I'm going to go talk to Durathra about getting passage there, maybe a cart or a carriage or something that we can use to carry it back. But I will go. I mean, I don't have to do it right now. I will go. I'll go with Godwald. I'm interested in helping you find your friend.
Yeah, so am I. I've got nothing better going on, so I'll tag along too, if that's all right with you two.
Okay.
No complaints here.
So you guys, after a friendly interaction at the Tribor Travelers, head back over through the campground to the tower, and it's probably only been in a 25 minutes, so Drothra's a little surprised to see you again so quickly, but welcomes you back. And did you guys figure out if there's something that I can do to help?
Oh, I thought we were gonna go look for Godwald's friend first.
Oh, I'm
Well,
sorry.
I was going to meet him at the bar that burned down, so this
Yeah,
is the
so-
first place to ask around.
Okay, all right. No,
Okay.
that makes
Oh,
sense.
I thought you said you're going to Sarah. My apologies. So where do you go look?
I would go to the office because the bar that I was going to meet him burned down. And the person who would know the most about the comings and goings in this town is here.
Wasn't he staying at the campground though?
I never got an exact location of where he was staying.
When you talked to him, he had been so out of sorts. The magic, you're talking about Silver and Loomshank, right? And
Yeah.
he had been out of sorts and kind of sleeping outside and the campgrounds, just like in a sleeping bag. If you go to the tower, Durathra unfortunately has not really seen the man or know of him. But she offers to, if you need him found, she could send some people around looking for him. She can practice giving some patrol routes to some of the new people.
I would appreciate that.
Okay.
I'm just not sure where to start.
Is there any identifying information about him that we might be able to give them as they're out looking for him, asking for him? Send him back here and tell them that you're looking for him to send him here?
He has robes like mine, but
All right.
a bit more worn.
All right. So, man in the robes of a priest of Bahamut, and his name's Silverin Loomshank. We can send out a note, and she, gestures towards one of the scribes that are there, gives them their orders, and they see if you watch them go out into the courtyard of the tower, they get a few people together, and she sends out a few people on basically practice patrols, and they're gonna go send 4 people north, south, east, west along roads looking and in the campgrounds, and then they'll report back in an hour or so.
Well, while we're waiting to see if we can find that person, we are going to need some sort of way to haul this large human-sized jar back to Phandalin, and that probably sounds like the hard part, but the hard part's going to be telling their mom that their son's in a jar. So if there's any way you can help us out with that, we would greatly appreciate it.
She goes, oh, well, if you're looking to, you want someone to you want to hire someone to take this back to Phandalin, or did you want?
Well, I
'cause
think
what I had in mind was I can write an order from the Lord Protector's office. I would normally have suggested maybe Rancer's Road, but considering the damage they've taken, either the cart and coin or the Triboard Travelers, I can write them this order, and I can, if they have available cart and horses, I can essentially get you probably 2 horses and a cart, based off the needs for the town for you all to have.
Well, it sounds like my companions are wanting to go back, as they've left a couple of items they feel would be rather useful to them, especially with fighting. I'm assuming that more of these giants are going to show up. I mean, it doesn't seem, based on what we've learned, it seems like we're going to run into more of them. So I would think it might be good to go back and grab some things. Also, I'm mainly concerned about some young boys that we had given our cart and sent back, and I want to make sure that they've made it back okay. So it's only a couple days travel. We can head there, drop off the jar, check on the things, grab the things we need, and then head back. And I will focus on spreading the word. Actually, if you've taken, if you haven't already sent the letter to Darren, I can take it with me and deliver it to him personally.
I probably someone might have been drafting. Might be able to stop them from sending it out, but we were just going to send word via Crow.
Either way, I mean that'll probably get there faster. I just thought I'd offer since I figured we were going that way anyways.
Okay. Well, if you want, I can stop them. Otherwise, it's in practice. They probably won't send anything until closer to noon. So if you do want me to stop him, from sending them out in their various directions, there's probably a little bit of time for you, a couple hours, so that we could stop that. But in the meantime, between the two establishments that are left, I would say the Cart and the Coin and the Triboard Travelers both are fine establishments. If you're looking for someone to escort the jar, I would probably recommend Triboard Travelers.
I think I'm feeling a little bit Cart and Coin. Just something tells me that the Cart and the Coin might be more open to our business.
All right. Well,
But-
here I'll write up a letter, and she gestures out, and she's basically putting on a seal. This is to Aaron and Serene Widdens, and it says by order of the Lord Protector of Tribor. This is like, I command you to provide mounts and a vehicle for these travelers, and then puts your names down and for for the 5 of you plus their goods and belongings. Seals it, puts her mark on with the stamp, folds the envelope up, seals it. She's like, "This is official." She's like, they should be able to give this to you as part of the town, and if you haven't met them, and maybe dropping your names of who you are too might make things go smoother too. I'm sure people don't really enjoy being told that they have to give up their goods for the town, but you guys definitely deserve it for what you've done here yesterday.
Understandable. I totally get that. I appreciate this. We all do. We will take our jar of our friend and make sure he's back home safe until we can find a way to get him out of there, and that is thanks to you.
Before he was attacked, I was gonna ask the the wizard man if he not wizard, what is he? He's a magic user though, right? The assistant, the bodyguard.
Oh,
The bodyguard?
Yeah.
No, Earlham was the one that had the wand.
I was gonna ask if they had any
He pulled a wand from the desk. Yep.
ideas about Pubert.
Too late.
Now we've got to find new magic people to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to pull up their stats real quick. I really didn't expect you guys to throw in a fight with them, but yeah. So, man, if you wanted to attack in that first round, that would have been bad news. Yeah.
No, it wouldn't
So
have been, because if he would have cast the spell, I get automatic attack of opportunity on him because I'm a mage slayer.
Yeah.
I'm built to go against those type of things. It could have easily gone in our favor, but it also did need to. Never mind. I'm just not going to talk about that right now.
You don't know what level he is. He could have
Yeah,
been
you have
like
no
level
idea.
15. I've played games where like we
And-
get into a bar fight in the first session and like the fucking bartender is like a level 10 dude.
I would
You know.
say if you went and you sized up Earlham
Hey,
Stockspool
Bear, I
and
think your camera
Valky
just
and
fell.
Spar, I think it did.
I
It
heard
did.
But
I heard a
if you were to
crash.
size them up and look at them, you would see them as dangerous people, not to be trifled with just by like, and if you went up and been like, do I think they're a threat? Like, they appear very capable.
It's back now. Yeah.
Like I said,
but
I'm
yeah.
just not going to talk
Anyways.
about that right now.
Yeah. So, but Doratha says, if there's anything else that I can do to help, just let me know. She goes, I know. Othfer, he was in here earlier. He did mention that he might like to speak to some of you, but he said something about he didn't want to talk about it here. I don't know his business. I choose not to pry if someone who helps protect the town, wants to keep their business themselves. But you might swing by his shop. I think he had something he wanted to say to the. Well, I think it was Godwald, right? Is that your name there, young cleric of Bahamut? You guys really haven't had much conversation, so. But yeah, so she gives you the order, and if you head up to the cart and coin, if that's right, is that right?
That sounds like the plan.
Yes,
Okay.
we're going to the Cart and Coin.
You guys go there. The establishment sells they sell and swap horses, draft animals. They also deal in feed, horseshoes, and various gear for carts. You meet the owners. It's a married couple, Arn and Serene Widdens, just two human shop owners. They've got a couple kids. I think it's like four kids running around, and then about a half dozen workers or so, feeding the animals, exercising them, cleaning the stables, replacing horses. They're welcoming. They take the order, kind of figure, they've pieced together who you guys are from before during the procession and the town gathering last night. You actually find out that this couple found out about you guys and some of your other adventures. Seems like the town has been talking about you. Not only like what you did here, but some of the things that some of the stories you've told have started to spread.
Our
throughout Tribor.
exploits.
Mm-hmm. Yep, your exploits and adventures have reached them, so you don't even really have to like drop your name. They kind of are glad to fulfill the order from Drothra for Tribor and do their part as part of the town. So they provide you guys with 2 draft horses to pull a wagon. It's not a covered wagon, but it's the thing that they have to do it. It can seat, probably 8 people and your gear or so. So it's a bit longer. They offer that's all they have that they could give you. Just what they could do with everything that's going on. There's just a lot more business on. If you wanted more horses, they would sell them to you inexpensively.
I'm sorry, they gave us how many horses? And you said a wagon, not a cart?
Yeah, a wagon, not a cart, and it's 2 draft
Okay.
horses to pull it. And that's what they have just kind of like out and available. But with one of the other ranches, the Rancher's Open Road being in such disrepair, and several of those carts and caravans being destroyed in the Giants' attack as they came in. They don't have a lot else to spare, but they could, if you wanted 2 more horses, they would sell them to you cheap. And let me look up what cheap would be.
I think we've got enough room on this, what they're giving us.
I mean, before we decide to buy more horses, me and Azia should try to find our horses. See if they're still.
That's what I was going to
around.
ask, is if because our horses were given.
What did you do with your horses?
We gave them to whoever was running the tavern or
Urgula's.
the inn.
At the North
Is
Shield
she-
House, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Did they go to the Happy Horse Ranch, the Tribor Travelers, the Cart and Coin, or Rancher's Open Road? Who wants to roll the D4?
Not it.
Ah, my horses. So
Who had horses? Azita and Novak?
Yeah.
All right.
I've been
they're over
rolling
the
like
Happy
shit.
Horse. No, it's perfect. You didn't want a 4. That would have meant they were at Rancer's Open Road, and your horses may have escaped with the other horses, terrified from the giant attack. But instead, they were kept over at the Happy Horse Ranch. Urgula managed to find you some space in the finer establishment.
So we'll pick up our horses.
Yeah, I want to tell. Hang on, let me just double check something. I'll tell. I'm sorry. What were their names? The people that own this place.
Oh,
Um,
Arn and Serene.
yeah, Art.
Yeah, I'll tell Arn and Serene. We actually do have more horses that we can. If I could possibly get the reins to attach them to these other two. If you need, honestly, with
certainly.
Okay. Well, with everything that's gone on, I honestly appreciate what you guys can do for us. I know the economy here is probably going to take some sort of a hit, so this is just in good faith. Thank you, and I'll give them 10 gold. It's just like a thanks.
They're kind of just like, this is more than necessary. We're glad to do our part.
I know,
We
but
appreciate it greatly.
you could have been difficult. You could have been. I should really be a bard.
Well, yeah, they thank you. They will roll up with the extra gear to attach another set of horses up there. It's kind of like an extension piece that goes on the front, so you guys can have that and can show you how to like hook it up to the cart and everything, so that when you go get the other horses, you can have them put it on there, or you can do it yourselves. Give you a little lesson in how the cart and the harness works as a thank you for it.
I greatly appreciate you guys teaching me this. I will. We'll grab other horses and be on our way. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's all right. So you guys, someone could do party inventory and have maybe do a side note for the cart and what's on the cart.
I'll
But
start
you
a
got
second cart because I have
second cart. Because what happened to that last cart?
the last cart that has everyone else's shit on it, like, Jerk's tent and blanket, Pubert's tent and blanket, all that. That's in Vandalin.
Oh.
Hopefully.
As long as the kids make
hopefully.
it back. So in the second cart, we have what now? And it's 2 horses.
Pubert.
And it's a wagon. Wagon, not a cart. You got two draft horses pulling it, a wagon, and then whatever you guys put in that.
So what's going in this? We got Pubert going in.
We should probably note that he's in a magic jar too, so we don't forget.
Jar, got it.
Don't. Oh, son of a bitch.
But the pun is already in his name. Pubert. Like he is
right.
the pun. You're
But,
taking
like,
the pun away from his name. It drives me. I don't get it.
So that wasn't. Did you know that was the pun before I brought it up, though?
Pubert?
Yeah.
So
Okay, because I didn't. Okay, well, so I was like, "Do you care if I call you Pubes?" And he was like, "No, that's the joke." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna call you that then." And then everyone's like, "No, don't do it." And I was like, "But he told me I should."
But I mean, if you have the Pubert jar, you are making this pun.
Yes.
Right? So I don't know. Anyways, it's relevant.
It's just a shortened version, like a nickname. Instead of Nicholas, it's Nick.
Yeah.
Well, it takes a second part of the joke away, though, too.
It takes his joke away, I guess, is what I'm thinking of it. But
anyways, he's the one that told me to call him that. So
yeah. So I don't think you guys have much else on it. If you guys go and if you want to take the card out right now, you can. Otherwise, it's at the current coin for to come get later. You guys know that you're Novak and Azita, your horses over at the Happy Horse Ranch.
Oh, I'm going to throw my 5 fire giant ribs on that thing.
There you go. You don't have to carry those. Those things were probably a couple pounds apiece. Yeah. But there's kind of depends on what else you might want to do in the town. You guys are kind of rolling in cash. Um, there's Tribor arms for like goods, armor, weapons, things like that. The kind of stuff you want. You guys haven't been over to Wainwright Wagons. That would be if you want to buy a different wagon or something. But you guys think it's pretty set there. There's the Lion's Share, which is a branch of the Lion Shield Coster here in Tribor. You guys haven't been to the fancy restaurant, the Pleasing Platter, or
No,
the fancy
thanks.
hotel, the Everyone House.
No thanks.
I did want to go to Fohammer's place to see, because the last time we played, after I don't think you might have mentioned this and I missed it in the recap, but I had asked what is her name?
She's the
Ortho? No,
Oldnath.
Oldenath. Yeah, I asked the girl from Oldenath's Arms to look after Fohammer because he was gravely injured. I was like, can you just help him out for the night? Make sure he's okay. Make sure he gets home okay. Because I was trying to set up a moment in which they could talk about possibly him mentoring her and teaching her some things. Even though she's great, but he said he wanted to do that. So I want to go check on them, make sure they're okay, see if maybe anything happened. I don't know.
And you're right. I didn't mention in the recap, but you did kind of try to like lure them together and kind of bring them together. And it was during the memorial procession that they were chatting and talking.
Yeah, they started talking to each other.
They were, almost inappropriately like laughing and joking about something. The dwarf not so used to the solemn candlelit procession as a way to mourn the dead.
She's the kind of girl that laughs at a funeral. Can't understand what I mean. You seeing what?
Yes.
No? Okay, well, I'm glad that you at least got it.
I got it.
Oh, it just wasn't funny.
I like your names.
I'm not a fan.
I committed to it. It's fine. It's fine.
No. The joke was fine. I'm not a fan of the band.
Yeah, I'm
Hilarious.
just kidding. Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
You got to commit. They don't always land.
But yeah, so you had heard about Othver had maybe wanted to chat with Godwald and or Jerk. He kind of mentioned to Drothra in passing, and she passed that along. Thought it was odd that he didn't say anything earlier. Jerk got a whisper from Dars to meet up and talk somewhere. And you guys wanted to go to Fohammer's Forge. So you just wanted to go up there and see how they're doing? See how Garland's doing at the Forge?
I did want to do that. I mean, I don't know if anybody's going with me or if what's happening, but yeah.
I would like to go retrieve our horses and bring them over to the coin in the cart. Cart and coin. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can, since the North Shield House would have maybe been bringing them around, you can tell them, like, hey, if you could bring our courses out, they can have the guys run over there and, get them, move them, and get the exchange in there, unless you want to do it yourself, in which case, more than welcome to, obviously. They're willing to do it for you. Exchange for all your help. As the party would then afterwards, so basically all your horses and cart are at the Cart and Coin now. As you're traveling up north, passing by the Talking Troll, you see a very despondent bar owner, kind of kicking through and working out with with his two barmaids that were helping at the shop. They're trying to like clear out some of the just destroyed gear. One of the farmers is there helping, but yeah, Kayleen Cecere, he looks a little bummed. You guys are wave and a nod. As you
If no one else has got anything super planned, I'll stop and stay and help out there too while everybody's doing their thing.
as you kind of go in and over, it's so bad with so many of these names. Kayleen is very thankful. He's like, oh man, thank you so much. He's like, I think you know, with what some of the town regulars donated last night, and you know, maybe if I pull out some of the nicer things and sell them out of the cellar and sell them at that fancy restaurant down the way, it's like I might be able to rebuild some of this. Maybe it could even look nicer, but man, it's gonna be a lot of work, and I think we're gonna have to bring woodworkers in from other areas. I think one of the guys who was a like the town carpenter was crushed by a falling rock from the sky. So it might take a little bit of time for me to get this place back up and running. So I really appreciate the help.
It's like I have faith they'll get it back up and running. And we were telling stories at the bar earlier. This is living through one of those stories. So while they are tales to tell to travelers, going through them isn't great. So when you think about wanting to get out on the road and being an adventurer, after hearing about one of these things that happens to us, you've been through it. So they're good stories, but don't wish them on anybody.
It's like, well, as you guys are bound to continue traveling, I hope that someday you can come back here and share more of your stories with me, so that maybe in the remodel I can get a stage built. I don't know. Maybe I'll just sell everything, and I'm just not sure.
You're a great bartender.
But I hate work. And you see him kind of like just stop and just. It's like there's a reason I never really repaired the roof before.
Well, if I come back through here and there's no talking troll, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Man, I would be too. But sometimes I wonder if this isn't a sign that I be, traveling with all of my training I've done. Yeah, I've learned a few tricks with the lute. Got some serious skills as a bard. I wonder. I think about going out and seeing more of the world to have more stories to tell.
Well, if seeing your countrymen get crushed by falling rocks wasn't enough to turn your stomach, we're heading out of town tomorrow if you want to come along.
I don't know. He's like, I'll tell you what, after a day of trying to clear out rubble and figuring out which walls are still usable or need replaced, I just take you up on that.
All right, well, we'll be back here later on this evening to, I don't know, possibly celebrate the last night of the Talking Troll being a thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, provided if it doesn't rain or snow, we'll be open. Come by and have a drink. But you guys continue like cleaning things up as you're working through there. Taliesin, as if you go up to Garland's forge, and if you go into his establishment, you see that there's a little sign on the door, temporarily closed, like more like a
Okay.
"be back soon." But you do notice that the forge over at Old Nath Arms is billowing smoke up through the chimney.
Okay, so I will head over there. And just, what do I see when I head over there?
So outside the building, it's there's the silo and a house on it. There's a small house or there's a sizable house that looks like the home, and then there's like the larger barn that looks like the sort of forge. That's where the smoke's coming out through. If you approach, the large like sliding barn door is actually like probably about like 10 feet tall and like kind of shifted and opens and on its like kind of wheeled track and open, and you can see inside Fohammer and Oldnath both working over the forge and talking.
I want to just kind of smile and just and then like as I see this, just kind of smile and then just kind of like knock on the door jamb loudly. Just be like, "Hey, how's it going in here? Is everything going well? You feeling better, Fohammer?"
Ah, yeah, your cleric friend helped heal me up, right? It was very kind of him, and yeah, I'd say we're all well here, wouldn't you, Harriet? Yeah, Fohammer's been showing me, his way, which he feels is the only way, on folding some metal for plate armor. It's an interesting experience, but we're talking a little bit here. And she has a real eye for not being born and bred for forging. She really has a knack for this. Wait, that's not his voice. She really has a bit of a knack for this, eh?
I can well, I mean, am I like in and amongst her as I've like stepped inside? Am I in and amongst like a lot of her work? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, there's like their tools, things are, it's pretty dirty. She doesn't really have like the kind of like a space for almost a showroom that Fohammer does. And you could see her work. Doesn't have any of the kind of like intricate dealings, but he's kind of commending her that it's still solid work, even though it doesn't have that
Can I do
touch or flair to it.
insight to see if I would understand if it's like it's not fancy but it is good? Like it's not fancy but solid. I just want to roll insight to see if I would understand that.
You roll insight to see if you're how you're getting Fohammer's
Or
judgment on here, right?
whatever you think
does he seem like this is like as accurate in these?
Whatever you think I should roll to see if I can like look and I guess I would maybe investigation or
Smith's
perception.
tools.
I'm just trying to see if like he's telling me it's good work, and if I look at it and be like, sure, or if I'm like I can see it.
Try and tell like how like if he's saying it in like a is he being sarcastic? Is he being like straight up? Does he actually believe that it's good work? Insight check.
All right. Wow.
But yeah, he seems like he's being honest though. Everything you've met about Fohammer, he seems like a very straightforward individual. It seems like he's being straightforward now.
Sure.
And she's got a bit of a knack for it, and he feels like he could teach her a lot.
And her name is Hilda, right?
Harriet?
Or Harriet.
Oldnath?
Why did I think Hilda?
Because it sounds more fantasy.
Yes. Harriet, I did tell you that I would, the night before at the bar, I told you that I would come by and take a look at some of your wares. Do you have anything you'd particularly want to show me? Or is there, I can't actually wear metal, personally. I do have some friends of mine who could possibly, but, weapons, things like that, I'd be interested.
It's like I do make swords and the like here. You specialize in arms a bit more than he specializes in armor. I think that's a bit of what we're discussing is perhaps a business relationship here in the future between our two forges.
Oh, so
Uh,
he does armor, you specialize in arms. I haven't you guys you should collaborate. Like that sounds like could you imagine like a full set of gear where you're making the arms and he's making the armor, how much that would sell for? I feel like that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a bit of what we've been talking about. I think until recently, we were a bit at seen as competitors, but an attack on your hometown really opens your eyes to some new possibilities, and maybe working with my neighbors rather than seeing who's better. And yeah, so they generally just talk about how they are kind of doing it. But she does have arms and things like that. If there are things that you're looking for, there's a good
Do,
chance that she has some stuff here.
do you have any sort of table for this, or do I just need to like ask them?
I mean, I usually will go off like the other table, but is there something you're thinking of?
Well, so I was gonna see as far as like if there are any sort of nicer well, it sounds like we may be getting a sword that Azita can use soon-ish if we decide to go that direction. But any sort of like rapier or like short sword or something that either the fighter or the rogue could use, or like maybe like a mace or something like that that Godwald could use, or I can use like daggers, javelins, maces, scimitars, sickles, and kind of thing like that.
So the majority of the things you named, she has. She doesn't have any kind of that would go into like chain mail or anything like that. That's more faux hammers like realm, but like knives, short swords, the maces, all that. Like she has some variety of a couple of those pieces all around.
Does she have any ranged weapons? Like if I try to update my handbow or crossbow?
She doesn't make anything that kind of. But if you ask about it, she suggests going and share. And that Nars, Nars, who runs the lion's share with his partner, would probably be able to help you with some of the things that they've imported from over in Yartar. Typically, she wouldn't have suggested the company from the competing town, but again, like things have changed a little bit over the course of the day, so
Can I take
sure the lion's share needs to.
Can I take a look at these items to see if any of them may seem as if they are better than what our party currently has?
Yeah, you're not gonna find really the only thing that's gonna be like better than what you guys have got is gonna be like magical stuff, and people aren't producing magical goods and wares here. But she does have like
5E's like that.
replacement pieces. Yeah, that's the way 5e is.
Okay. I mean,
they're all solid. They're all solid goods and things like that. For more of that, like more kind of creative stuff, faux hammer, chains, and other things like that. Or if it's like those kind of pieces that require more individual work.
What?
If you ever wanted to get like try and put a scimitar on the end of a chain, like faux hammer is probably the guy who would put that together for you.
Oh yeah, there was one thing.
What? Well, what were you gonna ask?
The last time you asked about similar upgrades, if I got a breastplate, it would upgrade my armor by 1. And they might have that, but that's really it.
Faux hammer would have that.
Mm-hmm.
So
you mentioned having one before, and the price was near the market price.
okay. So as I'm kind of looking these over, and I want to be like, Harriet, honestly, your weapons are astounding. They're great. Uh, although I
She's
feel
ramping up production to help the town out. The town's got a big order in for more swords and things. They're gonna try and arm all the people.
and I can see that you're obviously putting in work to get arms out to the people, make sure that if anything comes back here, we that you guys can handle that. As unfortunately, we do have to leave soon, but I am actually uh, the cleric of our group. Um, I'm hoping to give him a little bit more protection. I can do some healing, but he's really the powerhouse there, and I don't know if I would use that in fantasy terms, but
Sure.
Hey,
But,
bring up my brother, why don't you?
and also like we really like his brother. Like I don't really know how to explain this. Like his brother got like sucked into a jar, and so like I'm looking to get him some protection. Fohammer, I know that you said that you had a breastplate that could, I feel like, could be so significant use to him, and honestly, we would be proud to wear something of your make. Um, is there any way that we could come to a deal with this? I mean,
You get a bit of a chuckle from Fohammer, and he laughs. He's like, I let me try it. For the last time, I'm Swedish. Aye, lad. So I'll tell you, I can definitely help out the man who helped heal my injuries, and it's something that God, I really just keep going into Earlham. I
oh
can't
yeah,
not
that's
go
right.
to
He
Earlham.
he did help heal. He did actually heal you. Yes. Yeah, that guy.
He's a
Yeah,
bit. I just want to make him like, is it Scottish?
I would say Scottish.
It's a bit of a wee. So, but it's something I can do for certainly. Like a young lad, like you're looking for something that's stronger than what you're wearing here. Perhaps whatever you're wearing, if you're geared up, that's on your chest.
Yep,
Are you
It's
with
like,
me,
I have
Godwald?
quite the fine
I'm
breastplate.
not with Jerk, and we're all as a group.
I have quite the fine breastplate. Here, let me bring you over to my shop. And he walks you across the street over to his forge. You see him goes around back to get to the door with the lock on it, and he pulls his keys, unlocks the shop, and brings you inside. I don't know if you had been in there before, but he has a sort of display area where there is a breastplate that he's created, and it has the uh, symbol of the All Father, the All Father, the Forge Master God.
I believe it was just me and Pubert that went in there before, so I don't think anybody else
So
has
you
ever
see
gone.
this for the first time. It's an extremely ornate piece. It's sort of a testament to his craft work. The sort of thing that he has it up there. People don't usually come and buy this. They come and get orders based on this. Normally, lad, I'd sell this to you for 400 gold, but for the service you've done for the town, the service you've done for me, I'd like to give you 25% off, and I could sell it to you for 300 gold.
Hey, can we pay for that out of the bag?
I'll set down the bag of gems and just be like, I'll pay for it. Yeah, actually, this is about. Well, is there anything else that you could use here? And I'll like turning to Godwald.
Hmm.
Or is there anything else that any of us could use here?
I've got shields, I've got armor, got breastplates and full plates, and I make chainmail, chain shirts,
I
He
can't
he
speak.
pretty much just
hammers,
does armor, right?
hammers and maces.
Well,
I mean, I can't speak for the Zentarim.
Well, is there anything I can help you with?
what does Godwald actually use? Do you have
Simple,
a mace?
simple weapons, a mace, mostly casting.
But you have do you have a mace? Like,
Yeah.
what is it?
For self-defense.
Okay.
Is it just like a standard mace? Like, does he have a better mace than what Godwald would have?
That's not really a thing in 5e.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. You
No, it's
gotta
fine.
Just like kind of in the future, like unless it's gonna be magically enchanted, it's not gonna be.
That's fine. I mean, I figured I would ask. Like, I mean, he seems like he does some sort of masterwork shit, and I feel like Godwald has had the same mace since the beginning, so I didn't know if it would be like
Masterwork
better.
doesn't really exist in 5e.
I'm just saying he has like a super nice, like silver and platinum and gold, like ornate fucking, warhammer. So I'm guessing that maybe he had made something similar that would be better than what Godwald has had from like day one. But if he doesn't, that's fine. I will put down the bag of gems and be like, can I pay you with gems? Like, can I give you $300 for the gems?
Yeah, I'll accept the gems. And he gets out a little eyepiece like thing to give him a look at it. You see, he seems to be actually quite adept at daring the value for them. And as you kind of like have the bag out, he goes, "These 3 should be worth about 100 gold apiece. I'll trade them to you for the breastplate."
Sold. Yeah, sure. Here you go, Godwald, and I will. Happy birthday! I don't know where your birthday is, man. Like, here you go.
I'll
Yeah,
receive.
now you have a high quality breastplate piece, from him. It's probably would sell for like 500 gold, but he's sold it to you for 3.
Well, all right.
So if you want to add it and then like edit the value of yours, you can put the value up at 500.
He wouldn't.
True faux hammer craftsmanship from the family faux hammer, passed on generations of this skill. It makes for a beautiful thing.
And you don't work in leather, do you, sir?
I mean, I do a bit of leather work for the straps and things, but I like to get some of those pieces from Othifer whenever I can.
Does Othifer
Fine leather work.
work in leather armors, or does he just do harnesses?
He's a craftsman, and I would say leather is definitely his purview.
Canvas?
Yes, yeah, that's a great way to put it. And,
I mean, he wouldn't have pieces ready to sell, would he?
I mean, you'd probably have to go ask him, but it seems very possible that he may have even had something for himself. Pieces of leather.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know his whole business, but I can tell you that I've seen enough trappers coming in and out from the forest and selling their skins and things to Orthover, and he can give you any kind of variety of qualities of leathers for the fine work that he makes the harnesses out of. I'm sure he has other skills.
I see. Okay, well, I appreciate that. I will check with him, and I appreciate the fine work that you do, sir. This breastplate you have provided us will probably keep us alive longer than you expect. Thank you so much.
I'm glad to help anyone who wants to smash giants as much as I do. As a friend, you tell that big dragonborn girl that she's done a great job, and I hope that the king and queen reward you all for your.
Man, I mean, somebody's got her, right? We got to tell her she's done a great job.
Send her my wishes, and maybe we'll grab a drink at the Talking Tree. I hear they're not everything.
Feel like people are rebuilding. I feel like one of our party actually went over to help them out. So, and you know what? I think we'll probably. Yeah, I know we got to head out, but we'll do what we can to help you guys out with rebuilding. We really love that place. So.
Aye, well, it's good to meet you, lads. And if I don't see you again before town, come here, bring in a big hug. And he goes and he gives you a big old hug, Allison. And then he goes
Oh
and
shit!
grabs
Can I go
grabs
like?
Godwald to give you guys big old hugs and
Can I get
shirt
like
for
really
you before you leave the
excited?
transaction.
Can I get like really excited with this group hug and go like primal savagery, like
No claws.
like just get like
No
not
claws.
stab them with my claws, but just get like real muscular, like werewolf form, and just be like and hug them real hard.
The strength of the bear.
Big hug. Big old hug. And Fohammer gives it right back. Big old bear hug. And just like, this man is just like
Hell yeah!
a short tree trunk of muscle, like from the just years and years of working the forge. Strong guy. And he gets in it. It's big. It's
Hell yeah.
family. It's a lot of good feeling there. And
That was a warm time. That was nice.
yep. Yeah. And you guys walk back towards talking. Still some like just like debris and stuff to clean up, but between Jerk and a couple of the barmaids and what the town kind of went through a little bit yesterday, it's starting to get opened up, but not a lot of the tables survived. So it's just like a couple tables, and you find what's his name? Kayleen sitting there, and he's just like, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna need another table or maybe I can borrow one from Jarathra or something. Kind of like looking around, just like, or maybe I can make something out of it. Make a table. Just trying to figure what he can do to get get some chairs in here and, and prop something up, and maybe like kind of cover this wall. And he's like, some like drapery or some like sheets or something we could hang up on a pole. And he's just trying to figure it out on what to do so that he can be open for the.
All right, I'm gonna address the party and tell them that I do have a little meeting in a little while tonight, but after that, do we all want to meet back here and have a drink before we crash for the night and leave in the morning? I think it'd be kind of fitting to have everybody who's just had a hellish night before together and have a good time before we take off.
Sure. So who is all? Is everyone at the talking troll now?
I think
Taliesin
so,
and
yeah.
Godwald. Yeah, I don't know where Zeta and Novak have been.
We were just kind of like following the party. I mean, I was gonna
Okay.
go
Yeah,
see
you guys
Nars
all.
later, but it's not like a big deal.
I was gonna say, would my so I know I would probably turn to Godwald and be like, would your mending be able to do anything here? And then
I mean, are you gesturing to what is left of the talking troll?
There's like a wall.
I mean, there's just a wall missing. So like, would
and
your mending be able to help
maybe-
with any of it?
Maybe the
and
then-
then part of the floor.
I
Part of the
can-
floor, the wall.
It
I can
caved
fix-
into the.
I can regrow small holes. I could maybe seal one part of a wall to another if it was being held there, but I can't grow a full wall out of nothing.
What about some of the tables?
Okay.
Because you think you'd
Is
patch
the
those
wall
back
crumbled,
together?
right? There's not like a piece that can be. So would my survival? Would it
Mending
it
also takes
allow
like an
me-
hour.
A minute.
would it
Okay.
would it allow me to find anything, like find lumber or anything like that that would help me like put this together, like to help them try to build a wall or something? I don't know.
If
This
you
isn't
wanted
the
to
end of
go out,
Monsters Inc.
if you wanted to go out into the woods and try and find some trees to chop down, finding good pieces that might make like
No, not this again.
studs and go do something, yeah, absolutely you could. And yeah, survival would be your thing to try and find like
Okay, can I?
the right size and stuff like that.
Are we in the middle of the day right now?
It's probably not even like noon yet, really. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's still like late morning. I'm gonna go grab a drink. Talk about a bit about what you want to do and where you want to go. I'm gone.
I have an idea of what I'm going to do.
Oh no.
What I mean, what? So okay, so Oathiver was going to make us a harness to be able to carry this thing, but we have a cart now. So do we need the harness from
wagon.
Oathiver? We have a wagon now.
I wouldn't
So-
be opposed to still going.
I mean, you
over
might want to get
because
it anyways as a backup in case the cart gets stuck on the way or some other giant crushes it. Or
Well, I also wanted to go to his shop to see if he had anything better than hide armor.
So I wanted to go to the shop still because we still kind of have a quest from Earlham, even though we're not in the best terms. But it's still kind of a quest to find out more about Oathiver. So
Yeah, did you see my my notes where I was like, Jerk got a quest, and then I was like, never mind on the quest, because like they just tried to fight him.
Yeah.
dude, that's
Even
Zenturium
that's the
families.
quest.
Like Zenturium family gets into beefs frequently.
I know that like you decided that, but I don't know if like the guy playing the NPC decided that.
Yeah, the Zenom are mercenaries. Like they're not family as we know it. They're a little bit more loosely
don't-
knit.
Yeah, they're like they're
along with the-
mercenaries. They work together because they make money off each other.
I
That's
think
the-
you're just trying to
like,
get your character killed so you can go back to Sparkle Gem.
I mean, that's not
that was
relevant.
kind of
No, it's very relevant because if you get her killed, there's not gonna be a party left to come back to.
What happened?
Stop
Who's gonna
starting
get killed?
fights.
Who's gonna get killed?
He's saying the Zito's going to cause a TPK.
Well, okay, so she wants to play Sparkle Gem again, so she's trying to get her new character killed.
That's
And if that new
no.
character starts a fight that she can't handle, we're all dead. There's no party to come back to.
Oh, I'll just let her die.
Yeah, pretty sure
Just
everybody will
watch
just
her.
let Azita die at this point, except for maybe Novak. Novak's
well,
really
Novak
the only
can't
other one
let
at
you
risk.
die, so
What's that, Novak?
I have to die. I would have to die if Azita goes off on a kamikaze.
And I wanted to pull
Okay.
Godwald aside and ask him how he's doing. Just be like, are you doing okay? I know.
It helps that I know he's okay.
Yeah, because did you share that with us earlier? That you were in
Yes,
contact with
I
him?
would have
Okay.
shared that at the end of the day.
Like I know this doesn't compare, but like one of my best friends is in that jar. That's your brother though, so you're gonna be going through a whole lot more than me. If you need anything, if you need to talk about anything, I'm around.
I'll keep that in mind.
All right.
There
Okay,
it is.
so what I would like to do is I would like to just be like, I think we need wood to rebuild this wall. And then I go, I'll be right back, and then just turn into a wolf and just take the fuck off.
Okay.
Are you going to go gather sticks?
I'm gonna
gotta-
go gather wood. I don't have to come back as the wolf. You don't know what I'm coming back as.
Okay. So do you go head this way into the woods up here?
Hang on, I gotta zoom out.
One of our
Yes.
quests.
Yeah,
One of our,
I'm gonna head out over there, and I will. Wait, can I? Before I do this, can I be like, Azita, do you want to hit trees?
I mean, I guess Azita will go work out some of her anger.
Here, why don't I do this? I'll say I'll be right back, and I'll turn into a giant goat, and then I'll have Azita ride me into the woods so that we can chop down some trees and then come back. Is that okay, DM?
Yeah, absolutely.
I will find the trees and stuff, and I'm just gonna tell her to what to do.
Okay, so the two of you are riding off into.
Yes.
Azita's
Okay.
putting like all her aggression into every chop at these trees too. Like she's still just angry. She's a very angry hormonal teenager.
Okay. Who is everyone else just gonna be like, all right, guys, playing in this forest? Or does anybody
I
else go
mean-
with them?
I would like to still go talk to Nars if I can. Try to get
Okay.
Nars and his partner.
yeah, I'm gonna
All right, so-
go with her. I I'm just confused by this wolf thing happening.
Okay, well, we just did the
I'm a giant
Towson over at
goat.
the forge, so let's go.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you guys go do that.
so, did you want to talk to Dars or Narth? You said Nars. That's somewhere in between.
I thought you said Nars.
What's a Nars?
Or the
It's
person that
Narth.
or-
Dars is the guy from the hand that I'm meeting later.
Okay, so
Or is
Dars,
he the
yeah.
same guy?
Maybe he's a doppelganger.
Dars.
Dars.
Narth was the one who was trying to style all those shots and never made it. So if you do go talk to Narth at the Lion's Share, this would be the gentleman that you saw um, out there. And I'll bring his picture up and put it on the map too. You guys have Narth. This is Narth. So if you go to the Lion's Share, which is a branch of the Lion's Shield Coster, you would meet Narth there. And is that who you wanted to go talk to? Or are you
was-
talking about Othiver, who
No, I'm not talking about
Darathra
Othiver.
mentioned said he mentioned he might want to talk to Godwald or Novak?
Well, we need to go talk to him too, but I was trying to go see if there's a possibly better ranged weapon in town.
Okay, so yeah, that's Narth over at the Lion Shield Coster. Or the Lion's Share.
Yeah.
So if you head to the Lion's Share, you'd be greeted by Narth and his partner. I don't have her picture, but it's Alestra and Narth. They come in and greet you. You can see from the building, it's recently kind of refurbished, so it's got like a fresh coat of paint. The Lion Shield Coster's logo is freshly painted on the sign that's hanging above the store's entrance. That sign is a polished shield emblazoned with the head of this stylized golden lion on a blue background. You've kind of heard a little bit of Jarathir mention, and some other people have talked about it before. Lion shields are not really very well liked in Tribor, since Tribor and Yartar are kind of rivals towns. A lot of the locals don't spend their money here. So you've kind of heard people like whispering back about that. If you were going to go somewhere, go to the place that's in town, the Tribor Arms. But if you come here, they get you. They're friendly, excited. Recognizes you from the battlefield, and you and the attacks on the giants, and seeing who all is there: Jerk, Godwald, and Novak.
I think it's just me and Jerk. Did
Oh, okay.
Godwell?
Where did Godwald go?
Huh?
Where did Godwald go? Taliesin went to the woods with Azita.
I was with Taliesin.
Okay, so you went to the woods with Taliesin and Azita. Okay, my bad. So Jerk, and as two tieflings walking into store, you really haven't had people just greet you with such a big smile in a while. But Narth recognizes you, knowing a bit about it. He's like, "Oh, it's the adventurers. It's Honey. It's Sparkle Motion. I told you about them. These are the heroes who helped defend Tribor last night." And Lestra is like, "Oh, thank you. I'm so glad to meet you all. It's a real pleasure to have true heroes like in our town. Like what you did was incredibly brave, just like my Narth." And she kind of looks at him with a smile. It's like, oh. He's just like, yeah. He's like, well, I did everything I could. No match for the people of Tribor.
I was like, yeah, you should have
Um,
seen him out there. He was a real lion, just crazy, ferocious, and I was impressed.
He perks up and is like, "Thank you for noticing. I always thought about being an adventurer, but I don't think I could. I don't think I could ever leave leave our business. You know, we've worked so hard to build this together.
Yeah, and who knows what would even happen to you if you came back. I mean, look at me. I used to look exactly like you. I was a dashing young man, and now, shh.
Oh, and you see her eyes kind of be like, Narth, don't go adventuring. Please, we've talked about this. You can be brave here, honey.
I give Novak like a little nudge. Like,
Seeing your sharp teeth, lack of shadow, and the whiskers on your face that I don't think I heard you
no, I didn't shave him today.
shave this morning. Yeah, I was a little like, oh, okay. But how can we help you? How can we help you both today? Like, whatever the lion's share can do, we'd love to. We'd love to help you out here. You do notice that the place is kind of empty. A couple hands around, and there's a couple travelers in, but it's not very busy.
Novak takes a quick look around, and just kind of, I was trying to see if you guys had any sort of crossbows in stock right now.
It's like, oh yeah, I can help you with that for sure. And he kind of goes through. The front room has a couple displays. There's a few pieces that are um, up there and are for sale. But like like a sword in a rack mounted up, but just very detailed work on the handle and the shape of a lion's head that comes on in the handles. And you notice that most of the things that they have are in some way marked with the shape of the golden lion and some kind of blue burned into the metal in different pieces. As far as crossbows go, I definitely have a few pieces here that are a bit more for hunting. And he comes out and shows you a, a blue painted, wooden piece light crossbow. It's like have a few things that are a bit more for personal protection. Has a a couple of hand crossbow piece that's painted in the same blue with a gold detailing the mark of that lion. It's like, and I'm kind of glad that we ordered ordered these, all things considered, and we've got a few that are built for a little heavier work. And he picks up a big heavy crossbow and pulls it up on same kind of coloring, matching everything, very much themed towards the lion. It's like these are all, it's like a variety of size shapes. They all sturdy work, and you see it like load the hand crossbow up, pull the release. You see it fires pretty well. It's like, yeah, but is this the kind of thing you were looking for?
So out of character, these are probably all the hand crossbow and light crossbow are probably the still same amount of damage as the ones I have now, right?
Yeah, just like we were talking about with the armor and stuff.
Yeah.
Your gear, just like generally in the game, your other kind of gear like that's mostly gonna
But I'm able to carry a heavy
adventuring
crossbow.
places like that.
But I'm able to carry a heavy crossbow.
I don't know if your character can. Probably. I mean, as a fighter.
She's a fighter, right? I would think so.
Imagine
Yeah.
you got martial weapons.
There's strength based.
Yeah. Yeah, you can wear heavy armor, light armor, medium armor, shields, martial weapons, simple weapons. So yeah, you can use a heavy crossbow.
All right, I would like to inquire how much the heavy crossbows are.
Actually, before she, well, I got mine from Sildar, so it's kind of got sentimental value to it.
It's like, oh well, this piece right here, normally would sell for 50 gold, and honestly maybe even a little more, but for local adventuring heroes, we could part with this for 45, no problem.
I would like ask, can I pick it up? Can I look at it?
Yeah, sure, go right ahead. See the fine craft work here. Lifts it and hands it to you. feel it's like it is heavy. It's a two-handed piece. You think to yourself, like, okay, like this would be something I could probably only fire twice in 6 seconds, unlike my light crossbow, which I could do 4 times in 6 seconds. You're thinking about your yes. But the size of the bolts and the force that they pierce with is a D10 versus your D8s. So you know that it would do more damage potentially if you hit.
I would like to look it over, inspect it, and look at them, hold it, check it out. Aim towards the wall, away from everybody, not to scare anybody.
It's like if you want to try and fire it out, I got a couple of posts set up out back with targets.
I would look at them and nod, like, yeah, if you give me a chance, I would like to try to fire it once or twice.
Yeah, come on. It
I'm
takes you
very
out back.
interested.
Yeah, it takes you around the back. You know, kind of sticks with you as his partner stays inside, and you guys kind of go off, load, and throw a couple shots. You want to roll a few d20, see how you do?
Do you want to have a contest?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Narth looks at it as like a. Feel like maybe you'd like to wager who's a better shot?
Like, sure, why not? Let's try it out.
Jerk, did you come along too?
Oh yeah, I pull out Sildar's heavy crossbow.
Oh, okay. He's like, well, for the gamble, he's like, for the bet, like, let's make it even. Let's all use the same one. Let's all use the lion shares piece, and we'll mark it on the target. You can see my target's got 3 circles, red, white, red. Bullseye will get us, it gives you 3 points. Outside the ring's 2, 1. And obviously if you miss the target, no points. And I'd be willing to put that 5 gold I marked down on the price on for you. So if you beat me, I'll take another 5 gold off. If I win, I'll put that 5 gold back on. And we would gamble with you. He's just kind of like looking and just trying to gamble for the sale.
I just say I'm doing this for fun. I don't care.
All right, fair enough.
I'll give you a piece of Electrum if I lose.
Fair. All right. I think we have the terms, and we have our target. All right. So the way that we're going to do this is it's 15 to 20. You can hit the center target, and you get 3 points. 10 to 15. You hit the second ring. You get 2 points. 5 to 10. You hit the third ring. You get 1 point. 0 to 5. No points. You missed.
So if I get a 15, does that count as 3 or 2?
That's 3 points because you hit
Okay.
inside the center target. If you nat 20, you hit right in the middle, then that's going to be worth an extra point. Like if you actually hit the very, very center of the target.
Do they get mods?
For the gambling thing, I think just for the DCs I set, it's probably easier to go that way, just without the mods. But if you want to use them, then yeah, I'll use them too.
I mean, I'm fine go straight.
Yeah, I'm fine straight too.
Okay. All right, who wants to go first?
Trying to find out who's a better shot. You're not going to use your mods.
I mean, we can do it.
I point to Novak and I'm like, well, you're trying the weapon out, so you want to go? It's your call. You want to go first or?
I would like to see, what's his name? Narth go first.
Okay. We're no mods, we're straight rolls, so. Narth takes his first shot. Hits right on the edge between the 2 lines. On closer inspection, did hit the center target. It's like, I'm telling you, this line shield wares are amazing.
Where was that when we fought the giants?
Right? was so bad when you fought the giants. Probably could have had the kids from Phandalin out here doing more than Narth did.
Novak will. She'll look at the shot he just did and turn to Jerk and like, you want to go next?
Well, sure, I'll go. I've got a little bit of experience with crossbows.
Where's competition music?
Should have used your mods.
It's only a +4.
That would
Plus
have been
four.
that would have been 3 points.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not right. Yeah, gambling music. There's got to be better gambling music. Nope.
No, that's the sad music.
No. All right. I don't like any of it. So you just have the sounds of the town happening around you. I'll have to find gamers.
I like
but your
I
shot.
like the encounter music for it.
Yeah. You want to do? All right. We'll do the old encounter film. But Jerk's shot lands in the second ring. So Narth has 3 points. Jerk has 2. Nice shot there, Jerk. I think if you got used to the weight of this one in particular, you might even hit that center. Novak, my friend, would you like to try your hand?
Novak will check the target, line up her shot. Hope she's been rolling better.
The luck is passed too, Novak, as the shot goes wide. You haven't fired a crossbow this heavy in a while. Oh, sorry about that, but 50 gold's a good price for this weapon.
I pass off an electrum to him. I palm it to
Thanks,
him
sir.
in like a sly manner. Should
No,
I
he
roll
tries
sleight
to-
of hand?
Do you want to
I'm
put
gonna
it in his pocket?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get it into his hand without him noticing.
All right, do the sleight of hand. See if you can get it into his hand without him. Put it there. That's going to be a very high check.
That's okay. It's an 18.
You hand it to him, not without him noticing, but quickly and in a way that it was really fast. Maybe it didn't, he noticed, but you did it in a very, very fast manner. Yeah. All right. So he's like, well, I love to make a good wager.
Oh, speaking
Always,
of,
always excited to do this with you. 50 gold's still a great price for this. This is a fine piece of craftsmanship. It's gonna last you, and it won't fail you in an adventure.
so I tell him, speaking of free time and fun, we're trying to put together a little meetup at the Talking Troll tonight. Since it's been such a bummer, and we're leaving tomorrow, we wanted to kind of experience the town and the townsfolk in a happier place one last time before we go.
Oh well. I appreciate you extending the offer. Didn't the talking troll burn to the ground though?
Yeah, it'll still be fun.
Just like his partnership looks at him and she's like, "Well, I mean, we haven't been there in a long time. We're always over at the the Pleasing Platter. It might be nice to, see everyone who's there or shut down. I mean, I can't imagine that place stays open."
Oh,
I
it's
think they're, he kind of shushes her a little bit, like, I think they like them.
all right. Well,
But,
if you
yeah,
decide
sure.
to come, spread the
we might
word
come
around
in,
too. I
see
want to
me.
make it a big thing.
It's gonna be. You think it's gonna be open?
He'll be open one way or another, even if we have to drink out by little campfires next door in the lot beside him. We'll be there.
All right. Well, we'll remember to bring our goats. But would you like to purchase this crossbow?
Yeah. Novak,
50
like,
gold?
look at, like, wait, like, I just gotta get used to it. Throws it on her shoulder. I'll go ahead and buy it.
Okay. He's like, well, I appreciate your business. He's like, it's always a pleasure to make a sale. Shame that but you can tell any of them that you found the fine handiwork here that you found on and share. Appreciate it greatly.
We'll see how it does me.
Fair enough. They nod and wave at you unless you have any other business and things you're looking to purchase or want here. They have a wide variety of things here. I mean, like,
There aren't
the
too
widest
many.
variety.
There
If
aren't
you've,
too many fantastic dex weapons though. Like rapier seems to be the best option for dexterity.
yeah. A lot of times DMs will just like out of games. Sometimes you got best thing best for that point. You get a short sword and you're kind of starting with that, and then you get those other moments. You guys have kind of had that stuff right off the bat, and your abilities and powers are really where your levels are coming from, not from your weapons. It's all from your skills and your training or your experience as adventurers, not so much the weapon you're holding in your hand so many times. So it is kind of a thing in 5e.
All right, so where to now, Novak? Should we go back by the troll and help them finish cleaning up whatever's left?
You can go hang out by the troll. I gotta go see what Azita's doing anyways.
All right.
See if she comes back.
About what time of day is it now? Is it too early to go down to the campground and signal for the meeting?
No, but what he's basically saying is like, give me some.
You're cutting out.
What he basically was saying was, see me, send me a signal, and then I'll meet you over at the 6 windows.
Oh, okay. Well,
So yeah, if you want to do that, you can.
I'd like to do that. Then get that over with, and then invite him over to the talking troll afterwards too.
All right. Okay. So kind of flipping back over to Zeta, Godwald, and Taliesin in the forest. As you guys are approaching into the woods there, this area. I'm going to move this area to the west of the Tribe of Our Travelers is the woods and a pathway known as Gueron's Slumber. You guys have actually heard about this in the past.
The old
but
lady told us we were supposed to come here and find her son, right?
There was Umbran Midge, and she wanted you to find her son, or see if you can confirm that the ghostly man took him away to hunt with him in heaven.
Wait, it's just me and Azita, right?
I think Godwald went with you. I'm pretty sure that's what he said when I asked earlier. Chased after you.
Okay. Maybe I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Yeah. So as you guys are entering in the woods, I'm gonna need some survival checks. If you can find, trees that seem like they would be appropriate age and size to cut, and then once we do that, we need some, I suppose, attack rolls on these trees to see if you can chop them down.
Wow. I can't roll.
That's all right. So it just takes you a little bit longer, right? Like, let's say this is a skill you have, and it just means that maybe not as quick as you had hoped to find the right trees. You guys end up actually going a little farther into the woods. A lot of the things that are kind of on this edge outside of these farms that flank the western side are like younger trees.
I am a goat right now, so.
And as you get as you do go and get farther into the woods, you're starting to see some things that are more like the trees that you'd like to do. So, I imagine Zeta's going to be the one chopping at these.
Yeah, I will. Zeta is on my back. I will kind of start like bucking, but just like lightly, trying to like be like, get the fuck off me, and be like, bah, and just start like ramming the trees that I want her to hit.
You have a clear indicator of which trees would Ram would like you to attack. Zeta, you want to get to chopping? Unless Godwald's also rolling a survivor roll. I suppose it could have been with the help from Zeta on that first one too.
You're muted.
I guess I don't need to be on push to talk anymore since I'm not eating. Ugh.
Zeta's not gonna.
CJ.
You're
I could
still
see
muted.
it as a person.
You're still muted.
It's like hovering over your image, like you've muted yourself
Yeah,
in
you're muted.
Discord.
You've muted yourself in Discord.
There you go.
Wait, no, wait.
I didn't realize I did that.
Okay.
There you go.
I had unplugged, replugged everything. I'm like, I know I'm not muted. What is going on?
Let's get some attack rolls.
Yeah, would using an axe give me advantage? Yes or no?
Do you have an axe?
I have 2 different types of axes.
Not an advantage, but it would probably be a better tool for the job. So
You
I'd
won't
say-
break your sword.
I mean, your great sword's probably also a fine tool, considering the size of that and an axe.
17.
Okay, yeah. So in general, you guys find a couple trees. Thinking of the wall that burnt down and saw, you think you might need to bring like 3, maybe 4 10-foot tall logs up. It takes you a little while to find good trees for it, but Azita, once they're identified, she's able to get into chopping and get some hard work done. Godwald, while you're there, kind of looking around in the woods around you, I'd like you to roll me a perception check, please.
It's not taking it.
Weird. Yeah, so your roll didn't just went R exclamation point.
No, not that one. It's like I think my roll 20 is unhappy.
Can you do the other die? Just roll a d20 and then tell me your mod.
Sure. Now it's refreshing.
Oh, okay. Then we will wait patiently as Godwald goes to look around in the woods.
What the? This is the wrong campaign.
It didn't load you back
What?
in there.
Yeah, it actually loaded me into a different campaign.
Nice.
That doesn't make any sense. Uh, 14.
All right. All right. So as you are sitting out in the woods and you're kind of scoping around while Zeta's getting her chopping on, you do seem to notice something off in the distance. And from where you're at, it just seems like a very lightly colored figure moving around in the trees off in the distance. And if you had to make a judgment of what that figure was and what it looked like, you think it might be like a tall, buff guy and long white hair and long white beard. seem to be blowing in the wind as off in a distance, and you kind of catch this glimpse of this character, and then just as quickly as you caught it, they seem to disappear.
Is he hot?
Does Godwald want to roll insight?
No.
Wait, no, wait, Taliesin, you're there? Are you helping chop trees?
I'm there. I'm
Is-
a goat.
Is he hot to tell? Does Taliesin like dudes? How does
Yeah.
Taliesin judge a dude?
I mean,
How
How does
Taliesin
a
doesn't really
goat judge a
care.
dude but by his beard?
Well,
I would say if we're doing 50-50, Taliesin thinks he's kind of hot.
so yeah, I mean, from Godwald's description that he caught over there, if you perception too, we could say you maybe saw him
Oh, okay, I
as
will.
well. But
Well-
Godwald kind of points it out and describes it. Maybe you turn and you're like,
He had
Big,
these muscles
buff,
and this
I
beard.
I got
buff
16
dude.
perception.
and he had a hell of a beard. That was an epic beard.
Like, it was weird.
You know, you've only ever seen one other buff bearded man of a similar shape. You remember back in Phandalin, the wizard Herda, and it seems to be like a huge, muscular dude.
Perhaps he's here to judge me for what happened to Pubert. Because he would. He has that ship. Who knows what he can do?
Right?
But as you guys kind of manage to go through, once Zeta gets a tree chopped down, the both of you are able to clear some of the branches off a piece, and then she's able to get a log cut. Now you have 3, I say probably like a foot in diameter and about 10 or 11 feet tall logs that are up here. They're not planered or anything to make like boards out of, whatever, but it seems like they could maybe do the trick to prop something up on a wall. I don't know if there's anything else you were trying to chop down in the woods though, but you could start dragging those back if you like. You get a little bit of a chilly down your spine. There's a cold breeze through the trees, kind of comes from that west and gets you to look again, and you kind of catch yet another glimpse of this figure in the woods.
That's bad. Maybe. Or, yeah, I don't know.
So what are you guys doing?
Well, I keep forgetting I'm not on push to talk. So did I mean, I rolled a 16 perception. Did I also see this guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Godwald pointed it out. You're able to turn in time and catch a glimpse of him. Disappeared. As you
I'm
guys
just-
kind of kept clearing up and working, you catch another glimpse of him after this like chilled breeze.
I guess I will look at Godwald and just be like, bah? Because I'm currently a goat and I can't talk to you. But
How long does
I
your
could
goat form last?
2 hours.
Okay, yeah, you're still a goat. You guys have been in the woods probably about 2 hours. It's coming around to an end.
I'd like to roll animal handling to understand whatever the heck that meant.
I mean, you could. I could. I still have my intelligence.
Calm down
I
there,
think.
goat. Right?
So I think
But
that
how
I
does
could
he-
Like, I know
probably.
it's Taliesin, but Taliesin gets annoyed at a lot of things.
I
would
could
say
probably
insight?
bleat. I could probably bleat in a way that sounds inquisitive. Yeah. Like what?
Yeah, insight check. Do you use it?
What's that?
Yeah, it seems like he's trying to communicate to you. Could be a question. As you guys are both like looking back on, maybe he's trying to tell you how hot he thinks that is. You're not sure,
Like, there's not really much that I can do
or if he thought you thought he was hot.
besides we keep moving warily. Like, I could get out the guide and be like, "Hey, does this region have a history of strange bearded men in forests?" But I'm not going to do that.
Okay. Does
That
Zeta do
sounds
anything?
weird.
Just chopping trees angrily, working out her frustration.
She's oblivious to this, I assume. If I here, let's go all the way back and make this perception check and see if she even notices anything.
Yeah, when Godwell pointed out, like, hey, there's that thing over there.
I mean, it's 50-50.
You have
Yeah, you maybe didn't catch the glimpse of it the first time, but the second time when that chilled wind comes across and everybody else kind of looks the other way, you look the other way too, and maybe see a little like wisps of hair blowing in the wind. You now have acknowledged that something is out there as well. But you didn't really see it.
well, I
You
can't
said it
track
looks
things.
like a. Yeah, I can't track crap either. Well, I can't not track crap. I'm just not the best at it. Well, I
Anyway,
guess Azita will start like trying to look for this thing.
You're gonna try and look for it.
Yeah, like
I mean, I can't stop you. I'm a giant goat.
You feel that your form and the magic that's holding coming in a bit.
I what?
Me?
Taliesin, yeah, the form, because you're going on a couple hours of being in the woods and chopping trees down. It's not super fast to cut a tree down. I don't know if you've ever done it. It's not really quick.
I have. It does take a while if you don't have power tools.
Yeah.
Just let me be my goaty best, man.
All right, man. You
But-
still are. I'm saying. I mean, you just feel,
I know. I'm
you
just
just feel
joking.
that the time is coming up. Maybe 15 minutes.
I do want to know like how big. So it's a large creature. How big is a giant goat? Like, am I as big as Azita right now?
I'd say it's
Like
a 1 by
if
2.
Azita laid down, you guys are probably like similar on the length parts, but I imagine your bulk is larger than hers because she's a medium creature when she's just herself.
So I'm like bigger than her, like overall.
Yeah. Yep. You would take up four squares on the
Yeah.
map, whereas she would take up one. So yeah,
Okay.
you're a big thing. She can ride you.
Like
a horse. Like a horse.
So I'm gonna kind of like stamp near the logs that we've cut down, and then like kind of like tilt my head like motioning back towards town, because I'm the one all this shit.
All right. So, what are you doing, you three? Drag the logs out. Go chase Muscle Man in the woods.
I've got stuff on Godwell's got stuff on his mind. So does Azita. Do we really want to deal with this, or we just want to
No,
do what
we'll
we're
go
doing?
take the logs back and then deal with Muscle Man tomorrow.
Okay.
Or maybe never.
We didn't definitively understand that this was Roshi, right?
No, you don't think that it was. I was just comparing it
Okay.
to
It
another
was just like somebody that
large,
was similarly.
super buff
I
guy.
brought up the idea,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
All right.
I figure if he was going to do that, maybe he'd tell us. Or if he didn't tell us, I don't care enough right now.
If it was Roshi, we would already have dicks on our faces.
That's what I was gonna say. If it was
I-
Roshi, we would already have
Wait.
penis
wait,
fireworks.
no. I look at the goat's
Yeah.
face.
I feel like Roshi would have rode in on the Tribord Trail like on something absurd like his magic boathouse
On a rocket
and,
dick.
like, his the magical wood had been formed into a giant wooden dick, and he's riding it as a cart into town, throwing them on your face.
Yeah.
Something like. I feel like he would definitely make a big deal out of his entrance. Just feels like Tristan to me.
Speaking of Tristan, we could probably get him in on one since we're all kind of sequestered now. We are going back to Phandalin.
That's true. We might have space for a guest player.
You guys can reach out during regular business hours, but meanwhile,
But meanwhile, so you guys are able to drag the logs back over into the Talking Troll. it's a bit of a scene. Don't often see giant rams or anything, and the kind of quick harnesses that you made to drag the logs along between the between Azita, Taliesin transformed, and Godwald helping with a bit. Doesn't take a ton of time, but you definitely have to use like all the rope that you all have in order to create the kind of sling that's necessary to knots in order to drag it there. But you do. Kind of like right as you arrive, your animal form ends, and it's a little past noon. But I've been able to bring some wood along up to the talking troll. Kayleen is really excited, and he's just like, "Oh man!" He's like, "I really didn't know what I was gonna do." He's like, "I don't really have a ton of stuff, but I went and while you guys were gone, and Jerk and Novak, you guys went to the talking troll, or no, Jerk did. Novak went elsewhere.
Well, Novak
Jerk.
Novak did to check on Azita. I was gonna go down to the
Oh,
campground.
she went out in the wind.
Yeah.
Novak, you probably encounter them at some point and on the walk back and are able to help them continue pulling things. It helps make it a little bit quicker. And as you get there, as Jerk's helping in the talking troll, you guys have collectively been just sort of scavenging items around town and running around asking people for if they have anything to spare. So there's several like crates with the like the Lion Shield Custer's emblem on them, acting as seats, and the pieces of like pallets, that would go under the crates, acting as sort of a table with a few other things nailed to them. It's extremely makeshift. It is donations of like stools, boxes, and just different pieces that are kind of going here with the wood that you've brought. He asked you guys if there's any way that you can help him like place these pieces like hanging in one in the center of the building and then two out where they're in, maybe digging into the earth in order to prop something up, and is able to get some tarp and sort of create just a little bit more of a roof out of the kind of hole in the piece that was going across with some stitching. And you guys have a very janky, very makeshift establishment built at the talking troll after a few hours have gone by. It's now late afternoon, early evening. The sun is starting to set, and people are starting to come around, having heard that the talking troll might be having a kind of last hurrah, to come over and see what they get, kind of join in, and they celebrating an establishment that a lot of the like farmers and farm hands in place. The farm hands would come here.
All the fun people.
Local laborers. Yeah.
Where's the talking troll? All right. So there's which wall? All right. So there's two
One
wings
along the
of this
road.
building. All right. Which wall fell? The one along the wall?
The one along the road.
The road. I mean. All right.
Yeah, the one collapsed in on the floor, damaged.
So I would like to make the suggestion to what's his name?
Kayleen.
Okay. I would like to make the suggestion. What if you just like run with this? What if you don't put this wall back up here and like make like a patio and like have like a cool patio for people to hang out on that just like goes right into the building?
It's like, yeah, but I think I still need a carpenter. Like,
Well,
to
no,
have
yes.
have a wall in. Yeah, patios are cool. I like patios.
But
Really
I
get
mean,
the
just
stage
hey.
built, though. I think the stage is my big thing.
Okay, that's true. You did say that. You know what? You did say that. So use any extra wood you got from what I brought. What we brought. I won't say I. And build a stage, man.
He's like, yeah, I'm debating about it. It's been a long day. Deciding sign to move on or or if this is where I really dig my feet in and commit my life to Tribor. And as he's kind of like leaning across what the mostly intact bar, just kind of playing the lute a little bit. It's just like it's been weighing on my mind. He's like, I know that my two barmaids, and he uses their names even though I don't know them. We'd have to find some other work, but I feel like I could take what's left of the cellar and what's left in my kegs and my stock, and maybe travel somewhere, trade for these things, and pick up some new stories along the way.
Now,
I don't know, man.
Did I go back with them, or did I go right to the campground? Am I there?
I'm at this point saying after the session in the woods and kind of some of the running around that you guys the talking troll.
Okay.
But
Well-
if there's other places you want to be and stuff you want
No, I just wanted
to do in here
to.
too.
I'll tell them.
Like I said,
hey,
it's like late afternoon.
Let's see if we can sell you out of your stock tonight, and you can come with us. Earn your adventuring stripes.
I think he needs to be here to provide adventures for drinks.
I think he could be a bard, and bards are
I
fun.
mean, he's great.
I also
but
put something in the chat like 15 minutes ago asking if I could keep the bard, and the only person that answered
What-
me was Novak.
I want to. I want to ask him. So what do you think?
Loki, I do.
What do you think it's going to cost to fix this place up?
He's like, honestly, I couldn't even tell you. I'm not a carpenter. He's like, I've never really kind of came to this place after the previous owner died. He's like, and I've kept it afloat, but
Well, all right.
like,
So
he's like, and
I mean-
he's like, and I don't know if you heard, but the town carpenter is one of the guys who got crushed by a falling rock. I mean, like, what a way to go, man.
What? We don't have another carpenter here.
Well, no, the guy in the town that was the guy is dead. It's like, so I haven't even really to get numbers. Like, people have been suggesting anything anywhere from like 1,000 gold to a couple hundred gold. But I really don't even know. It's like they could probably tell me whatever, and I might be getting scammed, but maybe not. But still, I really just don't know.
So most of the town's here, right? Because we're like kind of in the after party situation. Like this is the evening.
Oh, you still got a little bit of time before that. It's really just been you guys.
Okay, so,
It's just
yeah,
us.
I'm gonna
Okay.
tell everybody that I'll see him in a little while, and I'm gonna head down to the campground to give him the signal, and then meet him at the 6 windows.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be away for this.
So yeah, we could say too, like as they came along and had that conversation, that to throw up a note to Dars over at the West Campground. You find him there. You give him the hand signal. He like gestures in the thieves' cant with you, kind of like implying like the sun's about to set. Like that'll be the perfect time. And basically, as that happens, then within the next hour or so, you guys meet up at the 6 windows. So if you head there immediately after seeing him, that's one thing. Or if you wait and go back and then go back there later, that's another thing. So what do you do, Jerk?
I'll head up to the 6 windows. But I did tell the party that I'll be back at the talking troll in a little bit. I just have some business to take care of. It won't take long.
Okay.
So
Yeah?
I just wanted to see if I could go to. So there was a lot of people traveling through this town from Nightstone and other places that were in the campgrounds. I wanted to see if I could find a carpenter in any of those.
Okay. Well, give me a second. We'll do the thing with Jerk.
Yep.
Because I had
Yeah.
you out in the woods and then the forge before, so let's try and hit
can-
everybody who wants to do their things.
We can do
No,
ours
go ahead and do
later
that.
if you want.
No,
Yes.
you go first, man.
And then I want to make sure I hit what Novak wanted to do, because I think she also was going to go see Orthover, so I want to make sure I hit everybody.
Yeah, I was gonna see if Tally
And-
still wanted to go see Orthgar too.
We've got Godwald's missing friend to find too. Maybe he wandered up to the talking troll.
We were gonna get a report later.
Ah,
And we could say that in this list we'll do it.
We
Maybe I
could
should just be
Jawa
rolling. Maybe I should just be rolling initiative for you.
But if you guys are going to do errands, then I'd probably go back to where we're living, mope, maybe get some spell research done if you guys are going to be a while.
Sure.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
just it's a rough
the
day.
report should be done by the time we're all done. So
I mean, and you guys have kind of been throughout the day telling people that you're trying to have a celebration, down at the remains of the talking troll, and so people know that like in the evening that's kind of that place to go. Maybe a couple people have been walking by while there's been like the attempts at repairs or attempts of just making it into a like a I don't want to say ramshackle, but very makeshift structure, or sort of tent almost between the stuff that you guys have brought over. But Jerk, after you give Cyrus signals and he gestures out to you about the sunrise, you approach the 6 windows. You passed this house once before when you went to talk to the lady about one of the bounties that she had put on the board. And it had been a chilly, creaky, decrepit wooden house that you had sort of seen before, and now that you've approached it again, like as you walk up to it, the building does give you a little bit of a looks spooky feel. Looks like it has kept in many years, and it
Gotcha.
seems like it's starting to wear and tear. As you enter into the building, there is a sign that says the 6 windows rooming house. It is essentially a hostel. So you kind of come in and you see there is sitting behind a table that's sort of working like a makeshift desk in the main room, which also happens to be like the common room. There's a couple other sort of folks sitting there. There's a elderly late middle-aged, early elderly woman, and she is kind of sitting there reading and in a rocking chair on a table. Looks up and she goes, "Ah, hello. How can Telmera help you today?"
I'm meeting a friend.
"Oh, did you need a room?"
I'm not entirely sure yet. I can let you know when he gets here, though.
"Rooms are only 5 copper here. Glad to help if anyone needs a room.
Okay. Well,
There's a few spaces left. But that's
I'll-
really all we do here."
I'll give her 5 copper, and I'll say, just in case, I will be using this common area for a minute or two, so.
"Thank you." She goes, reaches on the wall behind her. There's a couple nails pounded into the wall, and there's a couple hooks. And she hands you a room number, like little like slab on it, and it says like B. If you look on the end of it, it doesn't have a key. It's just the room number.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And she's like, 4B is your room. Like, it's yours for the evening. She's like, please return the key when you're done.
I will do that. Thank you.
Thank you. And you see her roll me a perception check.
19.
You do see her kind of like take a key and slide it into her bra. She was trying to be like sly and quick, but your eyes were too fast. And you noticed her like hide a key inside of her brassiere. But otherwise, she just kind of chuckles, goes back to her book. There's a couple people there that look like they're maybe traveling and really didn't want to spend the money on a hotel.
I just give her a look and I'd be like, I'm not going in there for that key. Do I actually need it for the room?
What key? You don't need a key for your room. The locks don't work anyways.
All right, so I'll just, I guess I'll just park myself somewhere in the foyer and wait for Dars to get here.
Okay. As you're kind of in the foyer, a little bit of time passes. People are just kind of, journaling and things hanging out around the fire that's there. There's not really anything else to do in this room outside of sit around. But Dars comes in. He comes in and goes, Tamara, I'd like to get a room. And he sees you, and being thieves can't, does the bit about asking you about the weather, but really asks you if you'd already gotten a room.
I give it back to him, yeah. I have room 5. The key's in her
And
bra for some reason.
Now,
And-
is this the Black Lodge?
So he still acknowledges it. He's like, here, I don't need the. He's like, here's the 4 or the 5 copper. He gives it to her. She goes, oh, thank you. Turns around, gets something off her ledge. It hands him a room like 4C. I think it was like B. But as you guys then kind of like go upstairs, you find that there are basically 4 rooms upstairs, and they are like the beds are really the assigned numbers. So you have like 4B, he has 4C, and then that's a room with 4 other beds in it. It's very much a hostel.
Okay.
And so, but there's no one else in the room. Dars closes the door behind him. You notice that the door does have a lock, though she said it didn't work. But it closes it behind you, and as soon as it's closed, he says, "So
So
I wasn't entirely
was she
sure.
gonna shake me down by taking that key so I couldn't lock the door and like have people bust in on me and take my stuff?
He's like, Tamara, I don't think she has the sanity to shake anyone down for anything. What
Oh,
did she do?
She tried to slip the key to my room in her bra, kind of clumsily, and
I
just gave
mean,
me this tag with a number on it and no key.
yeah, it's. I don't really think it's a place that has like locks. Usually, it's a good spot for us to meet, where prying eyes usually aren't, and a few silver can usually get somebody out of a room so that we can have a nice discussion. I wasn't entirely sure when I saw you, but I thought maybe that you were with the group when you picked up on my signal. I was sure then. Have had a bit of work from the hand coming around recently. Somebody just passed
Yes.
through Tribor.
So I'm gonna ask how much she knows about the situation with what is her name? I've got like 6 books, and the one that her name is written in is in my car. My old apprentice or my old master,
Alfred.
Alfred.
Alfred?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I tell him, I was one of her students, and she left me to blah blah blah. My partner, blah blah blah. Now my partner is looking for her. So I was wondering if he'd heard any news from Sparkle Gem, or if Sparkle Gem had passed through and how she looked.
Well, actually, yeah, I did see Sparkle Gem on her way through. She rode in on a giant ram through the into town, came to the campgrounds, and that's where I passed her her letter and her new identity, where she met up with the dance troupe before heading out from here.
Yeah, before we came to town, I sent word that this is where we'd be, and if she needed to contact us here.
So first, yes, I'd seen Sparkle Gem come through. So I communicated. I passed on her new identity and got her connected with the dance troupe that were here. people usually don't suspect much about me as the campground caretaker, but I'm trying to keep it that way, by the way, so please keep this
Absolutely.
between us. We'd heard a little bit about Elfried and that she was headed to Silvery Moon. Sparkle Gem and the rest, and the Kitty Power Hour should be encountering them in a town outside of Silvery Moon. It's the one that I gave you the name of before that's escaping me at the moment. I'm sorry. I'll make sure you have it. Yeah, she should be headed that way. And actually, I do have a letter that had come through me that I was supposed to pass back to Fandolin, but I believe it has your name on it.
Well, isn't that convenient?
And he gives you a note from Sparkle Gem. Oh, where's my Sparkle Gem story notes?
Last we heard from Scott Barkle Gym, she was getting her ass kicked.
Yeah.
I think you were supposed to write me this letter, but instead you.
Did
As
I
you open,
not send it to you?
I don't think I have it. I don't have it. But so you open a letter from Sparkle Gem. It's addressed to you, Jerk. You've kind of intercepted it as to where it would have been passed from Dars to someone to get to the Lion Shield Coster in Fandolin. He did catch it ahead of time, and with your name on it and you being hand and acknowledging everything, he hands it to you. Inside, the letter tells you from Sparkle Gem that they'd arrived in Yartar, and she'd met up. She'd met up with the troop. They'd arrived in Yartar and met up with the rest of the dance group, and that they would be heading to that. I think it's Everland, the city outside of Silver Moon, to do a performance there. And Elfried is supposedly posing as a noble that might be at the show. If she can confirm that Elfried is there, she'll send you another letter and to be expecting it on the way. But so what you're able to gather is that she's traveled from Tribor to Yart and onward to Everland, or whatever that city is right outside of Silver Moon. I cannot remember for the life of me. I
It
can't
is.
find
It's
it.
Everland with a U.
Okay, Everland is a city outside of Silver Moon. They'll be doing a performance there, and you should be getting another letter delivered from there. That's where she plans to send the next one from.
How long ago was this letter recovered?
He tells you that this one came about a day after she left here to pass through. So she's been doing her regular correspondence, so he would expect another letter coming from Yartar to arrive in the next day or so.
Okay.
But he also... Where's my box of names? Okay, he also gives you the name of the courier contact for the Hand of Yartar, which we're going to use 5e random. Are you ready?
Now, who is this name you're giving me?
This is the name of the Hand of Yartar courier, the person who would normally be bringing him notes and letters, as he's a bit more established here and doesn't travel.
Courier's a fun word.
Yeah, it's Ariel O'Dalben. I'll do that. Ariel O'Dalben.
Well, I got the first
And-
name right.
And she is female elf who kind of makes just general elf characteristics: thick brown hair, amber eyes. She travels as an adventurer, so you can often see her wearing leather, wielding a battle axe. And if you encounter a female elf mercenary in a bar, speaking of fame and glory, chance it might be Ariel.
Okay.
But if you basically is like, I can wait for the next letter to come here, or depending on where you guys go, I could pass you along some more information.
I think our plan of attack is to head back to Phandalin. We have to pick up some things to continue on. We had some setbacks. My friend got sucked into a jar. It's been a weird couple of days, man. But speaking of which, we are having a rager over at the Talking Troll after our meeting. So if you'd like to come see us off, and I'm trying to get as many people at this place as I can. I want to sell this guy out and then
Well,
take him with us. He seems like it'd be a lot of fun to have on the road.
I hope you're not too disappointed, but I'd already heard, working on the campgrounds, it really lets me keep my ear to the ground and
I
know what's
do a little
going on around
fist
town.
pump. I'm like, yes, it's working.
And and it's like rumors spread. Think you might have a bit of crowd there. I think Dar's Helgar could make an appearance for sure, nonchalantly, if we could, keep that kind of thing between us.
Oh, absolutely.
um,
Yeah, but
but yeah,
so
it seems like she's doing well, and that Antar is on. I think if you continue on heading towards Yartar, you have a good chance to encounter her. If you're heading that way,
yeah, it's gonna
seems like
be
their end goal is the town around Silvery Moon.
okay. Well, thank you for the information. I'm just kind of worried about her.
I understand. We haven't really found exactly what it is Elfried's doing there. But given the wealth of magical knowledge and the amount of secrets that the elves keep, it might be related to the orb that she tried to obtain in Neverwinter.
The one that I went to jail for. She's a dick.
Yeah, it's been made pretty apparent. She's out for herself and not trying to bring equality to the peoples of the Sword Coast
All right.
and the Frozen North.
Well, I'm gonna go.
She's definitely lost favor with the hand, I can
Good.
tell you.
Good. If you hear anything from Sparkle Gem of like super importance, kind of out of character, I'm considering giving him the sending stone so he can send us a message if he does hear something.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I mean, at this point, the further you get with the way the hand works, you could probably intercept any letters along the way.
Okay. Well, I'll keep the sending stone then.
Depending,
I'll keep my eyes out for any couriers or any messengers as we travel. Yeah, I tell him
Okay.
if you hear anything, please just get it to me as fast as you can, because I want to make sure my little buddy's okay.
Yeah, I hear you. She seemed like she was very motivated to find this character, and I feel like she's got a strong chance of following that conviction to her goal.
I feel like she may be underestimated Elfried just a touch, though. We should have gone together. But she didn't give me a chance to. And then,
Well, as soon as I hear something, do you want me to? If a letter comes through tomorrow, or the next day, do you want me to have it sent to Phandalin, or? Right
yeah,
here?
yeah. If you've heard we've left the town, just have it sent along. Maybe they can catch up with us on the road, or we'll meet them in Phandalin.
All right. He's like,
but-
well, just tell me, send me word somehow if you're heading to Phandalin in some way.
Okay.
I'll hide a note somewhere for me. Whatever it needs to do to keep it quiet between us, but I'll make sure to not.
I'm gonna go.
As
give
always, the hand has been collecting things and looking for what other hands have been out and about. Is there anything that you think you might want to trade? And let me go get my cards, and I'll be right back.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, I'll be right back.
How dare you?
I want to get rid.
Oz, that's so funny that you didn't know that, but also like I totally get it if you
What?
are a visual person. We're talking about Dark Souls on the side.
Oh, gotcha.
You got the fast bosses and slow bosses, and he's
Right.
like, "Hey, you know how fast bosses have music that matches their attacks?"
Well, so
Or
all
slow bosses?
bosses from Dark
They-
Souls 1 to 3, they all attack in time with their music. But if you're a visual person who works off of like, because they do a lot of telegraphing with their attacks, if you're a visual person, you might not notice that. But I'm not like
It's like, do the attacks start on music beats or hit on music beats?
So they generally hit when when the beat hits. So like if you dodge like right as the beat's hitting, you will miss it. They'll miss you. But
So
like
it's
the
just
person who
it's a rhythm game.
yeah, essentially. But I'm like the dancer always fucks me up because she's the only boss in all three games that doesn't attack in rhythm with her music. So and like people don't. It took a long time for people to. I think people noticed that like a year or two ago was when people started noticing that, and I was like, holy shit! But like, yeah, I mean, she always fucked me up because of that. She was always the hardest boss to me because of that.
Who was the hardest boss?
The Dancer of the Boreal Valley from Dark Souls 3. To me, just because all the other bosses, which a lot of people don't notice, attack in time with their music. And she's the only one who does not attack in time with her music, and it fucks me up. But if you
Sounds rough.
well, it's
Whole
different.
game's rough.
It's different based on how you play the game because some people, like Oz was saying, he never noticed that, and he just works off of how they telegraph their attacks visually. And if you work off of that, then she's not that difficult. But if you work off of them working off of their sound cues, then it is difficult. So I always thought that was interesting. But I also didn't know that Oz didn't know that.
So, Dars tells you that he does have a few. There have been a few items that have come in trade through the hand, and he is willing to trade any of these for some magical item that might be worth a similar value.
Okay.
Hey, bub.
You have the rake in the road, and you guys have the fuckers have the motion.
I've got some weird stuff in my inventory.
There are three things that he mentions that he has stashed away, and that you could make an exchange for later. He didn't bring with him because he wanted to kind of verify you everything first.
Got it.
He, in general, is pretty trusting of you here. But three things have come through that he thinks might be of interest to you. A necklace of blessing beads, a viper whip, and a short sword known as Toothbiter.
Those sound like magic items.
They do. I asked him if he can describe their effects, like of all of them, actually.
It was the Viper Whip. I think it was actually enchanted by some kind of some kind of druid or or wizard that learned something from a druid. The head at the end of the whip is actually a snake's head, and it can, in addition to doing the whip's damage, it does an additional does additional poison damage with the potential to poison the target as well.
Oh, that's interesting.
The blessing beads seem to have different effects based on the wearer and what their feelings are when they're using them. Be or when they attune to them. It can be beads of courage, which can help you avoid any feelings of fright. They can be beads of mercy, where they may keep you off the verge of death. They may be beads of hope. Mechanically, would grant you advantage on saves of your choice, or potentially beads of compassion, where you may actually mechanically out of game you would take damage for a person if you chose to take that damage instead.
Got it.
But they seem to change and shift based on the wearer.
Okay.
The tooth biter, though, I find is a particularly interesting item that came out of a dungeon. This is a strange one out of a cave. I heard somewhere outside of the Phandalin area. This short sword is stronger and does additional damage in it, but you would notice on the scabbard covered in teeth that it seems to crave teeth. It seems to be fed by them.
Oh, dang.
Oh,
I mean, you got to stockpile, don't
potentially
you?
doing more damage for the more teeth that it's fed.
I feel
but
like this
Does also
sword-
seem to have a personality.
I feel like
like
this
it
sword was made
wants teeth.
specifically for me. Okay. So here's what I have for you. And I'm hoping you'll take this, whether you give me something for it or not. And
You're trying to pawn that thing off on some. It's
So-
no longer wild magic.
oh, it's not.
That wore off. That wore off after.
It wore off.
Oh, it did.
That's why
was
I'm wearing
7
all my armor and stuff again. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 7 days of wild magic. That's what
Okay.
I rolled for it. It was an extended period. I didn't think it was going to last as long as it, but it did.
All right. So then I'll just I'll give him the radiant. It's probably just a radiant dagger now, right?
It's just a dagger.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So all of the magic wore off?
Yep.
Oh. Okay. Well,
I love that you're still trying to when it was dangerous. And you're like, I gotta pawn this off on somebody. This guy'll take it.
I have a vial of perfume in my inventory, and I don't think we ever talked about if that was what that was. Like if
It's
it was
probably
like
just perfume. Yeah.
we got it from the black spider.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a dainty man.
He just wanted to smell nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Dars is telling you it's like in accordance with how we always work. We're always trying to bring things to our agents that might be in need, change for agents that may be in need. So if any of these can help you in exchange for something else, if you have some other magical item, I'm willing to trade of equal value.
I don't have anything magical that I can part with, but
I understand.
that tooth biter. Could I buy it from you?
Unfortunately, you know how this is. Like these things are so rare that we exchange them for more things to help.
Am I with him?
No, very much not.
Oh, okay, never mind.
This is his whole secret secret side thing.
That's
Well,
the secret organization.
Yeah, I
Like,
tell
Well,
him. I
I
tell
was
him
gonna help you, but not with you.
the only thing I have that I can trade is this sending stone.
Do you have the other
Unfortunately,
one?
no, I just have
Great,
one
I
of
can
them.
just talk to this guy the whole time.
Yeah. Um. God damn it.
If you have them both, I'd trade any of the objects for a pair of sending stones.
So
Sending
I.
stones can be extremely useful. They'd be very much help, especially people in our profession.
All right. Let me talk to the other person who has it. I'll come by and see you discreetly tomorrow. Before we leave.
Yeah, like I said, give me a signal. We can meet here again. Get another room.
All right.
It's out of it's out of most of the prying eyes in the town. People don't usually come this way, except for
Okay, and bring the
poor travelers, as you may have seen downstairs.
bring tooth biter because I have a stockpile of teeth to feed it. Some of them, and I pull out
I
one of
didn't
the.
expect to hear that today.
I pull out one of the giant's tooth, and I'm like, "You think he'd like this?"
It may be. It may.
All right. So
I
then,
have been warned that it needs a steady diet, I should say.
well, so do I. All right.
Fair
Well, I'm
enough.
gonna get out of here before this gets weird. I'm gonna go give this
It's not already.
number to the crazy lady, and I'll send word tomorrow about when we're taking off, and we'll meet back here again.
Yep, says I'll leave a few minutes after you.
All right, sounds good.
All right, good
And
talking to you, jerk.
you too, Dars. And then I go do that, and then meet up with everybody else.
All right. All right, and
Oh, I do have to ask Taliesin when I see him about the other sending stone.
I made a note about it.
Okay.
so
Y'all
who
not
was-
even taking notes, or like what?
I'm taking notes. They're right here.
All right. I'm just making sure.
You know, the chat's a good place to put notes because then you can always just everyone can go look at them.
I
I
mean,
think Novak had some running around too, and Azita. I know your notes are good. I see them. I appreciate good note taking. It warms my heart every time. It really
oh,
does.
it just sent it as a message.txt because it was too big.
That's what you get. Right. Is that a? Did I have a Novak and a Godwald going somewhere? Who else do I have?
Novak wanted to go see Orther, and she
Mhm.
asked me to go with her, but I wanted to go through the campgrounds first to see if there was a carpenter from out of town in town to help fix the talking troll.
All right. As you're passing through, roll me an investigation check, and that right, Novak, because I haven't heard you. Still don't hear you.
I see her moving, but I can't hear
Right.
her. She's muted.
Oh, her audio is.
I don't think she can hear us.
Yeah, now she can't hear us.
Wait,
Now
there we
she
go.
can hear us, but we can't hear her.
Test on Sarah.
Unplug, replug your mic in. Headphones set.
Headphones
Oh,
set.
boo. God, I can't even. I at this point, I'm
I
gonna
have a.
send you two headsets.
I can just give you a headset.
Right?
have-
Like,
I
I give you
just
my
have-
one that's okay.
I have one that's fine. This one's better. I mean, the other one's not any worse. It just is like the two plug-ins instead of a USB. I can I get
Can you
Sa-
use the laptop mic? Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I was gonna ask Sarah, is it okay if I roll with advantage as if you're helping me, or do you want to do a separate roll? Or is that
Yes.
okay? Is that okay with the
If you guys
DM?
are looking for him, just investigation check, and yeah, if you want help, if she wants to help you look through the different campgrounds for somebody traveling through from Nightstone,
So would she roll separately?
if she wants, or you can roll with help, but it's kind of hard to hear.
Okay. I can
So she
help
said
you if you
roll.
want, so that way you can go see him still.
So yeah, just roll me an investigation check with advantage then.
Okay. So that's 15. Okay, yeah. So 15.
15. Yeah, as you guys do kind of go through, and those caravans that are coming through from Nightstone, you are able to find a carpenter. He's traveling north, but he'd very gladly and willingly trade his skills for coin.
So I would like to go to this guy and be like, hey, my favorite bar burned down. Listen, it's just north of here, and I personally already, like, well, me and my friends, we had already brought the materials to fix the wall. It was only partially burnt down. We already brought the materials to fix the wall. I've got a bag worth of $700 worth of gems here. Think you can fix it?
I don't think I can fix an entire bar today or a wall, but I definitely
you don't have to do it
sell
today.
my skills for coin. It's like that's a lot of money. I normally work for about a gold a day. So, a couple gold, and that would be enough for my family and I to uh, work here for a few days before we travel onward.
All right. Well, you know what? I was just kind of throwing it out there. I didn't know what you went for. Say I give you. All right. So I got the wood there to fix it. I don't know what else you'll need, but if you need it, we can get it. How about I give you? How many days do you think it'll take you to fix?
I'd probably have to look at the job before I give you an estimate. That's how this works.
So there's 6 walls
What
to
kind
this
of work
building.
needs done?
There's 6 walls to this building.
Walls, roof?
One wall fell in. It also collapsed part of the floor and basement. So I'm thinking, but it's all on the same side. Roof's gonna need some work too. So I'm thinking if I give you, I've got some money here that I can give you. I'm asking you, with your skill set. I don't know what your skill set is, man. I can summon celestial animals. What do? You fix things.
Yes.
Like I trust that you could fix this wall. I brought the materials there, so it's I want to be able to. I want to know that I gotta go to the next town over, and I want to know when I come back here, I can have a nice cold pint at the Talking Troll.
Well,
That's what I'm saying, and I trust you. I think that you seem like a good guy.
I'll tell you what. My family and I are traveling to Long to, to meet up with other family members. Nightstone was like a war zone, and Tribor seems to be not much safer. And we're hoping we can go a little farther north and get away from some of this trouble. But I usually make about a gold a day, like at my business that I had to leave behind. If you give me 10 gold, I'll do 10 days worth of work. I have the tools and tools in the shack, but you'd probably have to buy or bring me materials for. It's gonna need a lot of wood for walls. Sounds like I'm gonna need tar and shingles for our roof. It sounds like so.
Well,
Those are things, but I can go estimate it. You want me to go figure it out? Let you know.
I would like.
I'm willing to work for your money, sir. If you're willing to give me money, my family needs it, and
Listen.
I mean,
All right. Here's what I'll say. And I want to turn to Novak. Novak, if there is anything there at you're gonna head to Oathverse, correct? If there's anything there, that you feel like would be useful to me, please get it, and I will give you the money for that. I'm going to escort this man back to the talking troll, and show him that there are literally multiple trees there for him to work with that I have brought, so that he can rebuild this place. And I will give him more than enough to do so. And I would like to escort him back that way, and then let her go to Oathiverse.
perhaps I could get a gold for doing the estimate.
Sure.
Family could use the food. It'd be
Yeah,
really
go ahead.
nice if we could. Thank you.
You know what? It's not a problem. Here you go. And I just removed 1 gold from my thing. So yep, there you go.
He turns and he gives it to his wife and kids, and he's like, "All right, honey."
Make sure they get some food.
And they start, yeah. So he's like, "Yeah, go," and he'll go with you to the talking troll to estimate how much time it would and materials it would cost to help build the building.
Yeah. I did want to say, do we, not to interrupt, but do we want to call it soon? It's like 11:15.
It's kind of late.
I'm having fun role playing, but I don't want people to stay up too late if they. I don't know what
So
everyone's situation is with this quarantine.
Do we have Novak with a microphone so can do Orthoverse? If not, maybe not.
No, she doesn't have a mic.
You are muted in Discord. You can
She-
unmute yourself.
Maybe that's because it's got no inputs.
No
Yeah.
microphone on the laptop built.
I don't think so.
That stinks. All right. Yeah, we could do that next time. We could end here. It's been a day full of talking to the town, making enemies out of friends, finding muscle men in the woods.
What was this dude's name that I found? The carpenter. Or did you give him a name?
We're about to. Zuri.
Zuri.
Yeah. Zuri. He's male halfling wife and children.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah, I love halflings.
Yep. They're a couple that came from Nightstone. They kind of left the town after the goblin and subsequent giant attacks on it. They're basically just trying to flee north to where they have some family. Saddle. But having to have left their business behind, they definitely need to make some money, and he's in. So if you go to you follow him talking, just starts kind of doing a catalog in his head of the kind of things he would need between, wooden support. The guys have the wooden support beams down. You might need some slat wood and some plaster in order to put up a wall.
Some lath and plaster.
It's gonna need some shingles and some more, maybe a few more of these pieces of wood cut down into poles to give the roof some more support and bring the support beams back across. He notices one really important support beam was damaged that goes across the place, and it's actually probably not very safe to be all in the building tonight. And he talks a little about, it's like, man, if we were in like Waterdeep, they'd shut this place down. You wouldn't be able to have anybody in here.
All right.
It's probably a little dangerous that the building might fall to the west side right now.
I'm taking notes.
But yeah, so he starts to put that together. And since we can't do Novak and Othfer talking, oh shit, I forgot. Is Jerk there, or is he still gone?
I'm here.
One real quick one is that when Dars was there and you guys were chatting, he did have something to tell you. Which was basically a quest that he wanted to give you. Is that he... Oh man, this stinks. He was recently visited by an old acquaintance, a merchant from Mirabar, which you would, at the very least now, know as a dwarven city up in the north. And this acquaintance had an interesting tale to tell him. This merchant had seen a dwarf cleaning stables in Xantharl's Keep, which is a fortified village on the Long Road. The merchant later recognized this dwarf from a wanted poster that he had seen while traveling through Longsaddle. It's a town to the north. That merchant was positive that the dwarf he had seen is a wanted brigand known as Weevil. According to the wanted poster for Weevil, whoever delivers Weevil alive to the authorities in Mirabar can collect a 5,000 gold reward. Weevil has quite the price on his head. Dars entertained the
what
idea
town
of going.
did he see him in?
He saw this dwarf cleaning stables in Xantharl's Keep. I will post that in the chat because it starts with an X. They always start with an X. But he had seen him, and he wanted to basically give you the information, just for your guys' work on the, like work to things of the town. He had gotten rid of this. Dars had entertained the idea of leaving and going after himself, but in the end, ends up admitting to himself that he's too old to go on kind of that sort of adventure. And at that point, you put together that Dars actually looks like he's probably in his early 60s. Yeah, he actually looks young for his age, but when he says that bit about being too old for something, you realize like, oh shit, this guy's actually probably a little older than I thought.
And how big?
But
How big
he the
passing
one
this
that-
information, passing this information to you is his way of thanking you during the attack.
Okay.
Saw you guys going on. So
How big was the bounty?
5,000 gold
That's
if
what
you
I
can
thought you said.
deliver him alive to the authorities in Mirabar.
Is he the one that fucking dragged the like giant staff
Rod.
thing across the thing?
Yeah, it was Dars. Dars Helgar.
Holy shit, dude! He just fucking
Mir-
hulked out that whole
said-
time.
Mirabar?
Yep, it's a dwarven city in the north. Throw you that map so you can see it real quick. Here's Mirabar. You guys are in Tribor, and he saw him outside of that city outside of Longsaddle.
Gotcha.
So he got word of a bounty, a very valuable bounty. He's passing it on to you as a member of the Hand of Yartar, but also as the people who protected the town. He wanted to tell you guys. Okay. A decent place to stop for the evening?
Yeah.
Or is there anything anybody wanted to do before we go?
I think we're good.
So, Sarah, here's the headset. I'm gonna put in a box and give you.
Where's the mic?
All right. I'm gonna say goodnight.
Wait, what? It extends?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Good night, internet.
Bye. Till next time.
Good night.
Good night, internet.